Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Uncensored Anime Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things anime uncensored, and we are your hosts. I'm David. We got Kenny. We got Jerry. We're happy to be back, talking a little bit more about anime news, talking about things that you watched recently, but we're not going to be talking about some things because certain people haven't watched the shows yet. Kenny and Jerry, you should both be ashamed.
We're not going to put anybody on blast.
Because we're not going to put anyone on blast. Kenny and Jerry, who haven't watched Cowboy Bebop live action or Arcane. So we're not going to talk about those two shows in depth in this episode. We will, hopefully, in a future episode. Obviously, you could tell I was pretty excited to talk about those two shows.
David did it again.
We don't, life happens. Life's a bitch, and then you die. So, but we still have a lot of things to talk about in today's episode. Jerry, why don't you start us off, big boy?
What's up? Welcome back to the Uncensored Anime Podcast. But no, for real though, we do have some stuff to chat about. We're mainly going to cover some news. We want to talk a little bit about Arcane and Bebop and Jojo's. Those were the three shows that we kind of been wanting to talk about, but as David very aggressively mentioned in the intro, Kenny and I haven't finished Arcane or Cowboy Bebop.
I'm just being transparent.
Kitty did finish JoJo's.
I literally watched JoJo's today.
I have 4 episodes left. Episodes left, and the boys
this podcast. I thought we were talking about JoJo's.
The boys wanted us to finish it before.
So I appreciate the relationship we have with us and you viewers.
That's the way it works.
I'm just being transparent.
Transparent.
We could have talked about those shows. Just not today, maybe.
Yeah, we want to give you guys. We want to give you guys our full thoughts on Cowboy Bebop the live action. Which, if you haven't already, Mother's Basement put out a really comprehensive video that breaks down a lot of really good points.
All of Jerry's opinions come directly from Jeff Thu. All of Jerry's opinions. Jerry's just a mouthpiece for Jeff Thu. He's a Mother's Basement stan. My
headset's
should flame it for it.
My headset's gonna die, bro. One sec.
Jerry started recording. He's like, wait, my headset's dead.
Yeah, today we're actually going to be reviewing 30 Rock. It's the new big show on TV.
Are we reviewing 30 Rock?
It's the show.
Because if so, I binged like 4
Tracy
plus.
Morgan,
I binged like 4 seasons in the last
Alec Baldwin.
month.
Oh my god, that's what Jerry's been watching.
What a great show! So. But seriously, we really want to give you guys a more comprehensive review of JoJo's Part 6 Stone Ocean, which is now live on Netflix. It's only the first 12 episodes for people who haven't caught up yet. And most of us, we've watched together, we've all watched at least the first 8 episodes because I only have the last 4 to watch. They both watched all of it, but I haven't watched the last 4. And they just felt like the last 4 were important enough that we needed to hold off before we talked about that, which is cool. I haven't even started Arcane and Bebop, and I have no excuses other than the fact that I just got bored. I watched episode 1 of Bebop, and I got bored, and Arcane just sounds boring, which is, like, not a good look on this because everybody loves Arcane, except, I guess, me, who I just read the description, and I was like, oh, this shit sounds boring. But I need to just suck it up and stick it in and just be like, all right, Jerry, let's give Arcane a go. Because everyone says, Jerry, you're going to walk out of there being like, wow, what a masterpiece. Which I'm looking forward to, honestly, because I'm going in with pretty much zero expectation about the show, other than, I will say, and I want to ask you guys this. Do you feel like there was like a little bit of a weird, like, guerrilla marketing campaign for Arcane? Like, did you guys feel that at all? Or is that just, like, you know what I mean?
Thought it was
like
just a classic Netflix engine.
I get,
Netflix
like,
tells you whenever you watch things.
No, I mean, but like, I was like deep in some comment threads. Like, I'd be on a comment thread, like totally about something else on Reddit, and I'd get 5 or 6 chains down, and all of a sudden I'd hear someone like, "Yo, this reminds me of that great new show Arcane on Netflix." You know what I mean?
Oh, I was not finding that at all.
Guys get it?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think I found.
Maybe I get too deep on Reddit, or maybe I'm just in the right. I'm in the right like targeted communities on Reddit. But I just felt like I kept getting to these like deep threads, like I'd be on One Piece or something, r/One Piece or r/some other anime, or I'd even be on like r/anime, and I would just get like deep in, and all of a sudden it'd be like, dude, have you checked out the new Arcane? And I'd be like,
you think plants in the?
I'd be like, wait a second. Honestly, I have a hope that it's, I've heard that Netflix really does do that, like hire people to like go in deep dive into comment threads, and I've heard that that's what they do. Do they do it? I'm not sure. You know, I don't know if there's like definitive proof, but I've heard that it is a thing. But I just felt like I saw it a lot for Arcane, even if it wasn't even like I would see it as top comments more frequently. Like, you know, I'd go on a thread about Arcane, and the top comment would always be this like massively glowing, you know, wow, what it absolutely blew my mind, or, you know, totally turned my mind around. I'd get into these deep threads where it's like, can't believe this is even connected to League of Legends. Like, this is truly like such a well-written show and blah, you know, all this stuff. And I think all the gassing up of it really kind of turned me off from like wanting to even check it out, because I'm sure it's good. At this point, I mean, even Gigook just posted a video that was like, I think it's just titled like Arcane is good, I promise, or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, and I didn't watch Gigook's video, but it just feels like this very like, you know, this massive shaker of marketing to kind of convince everyone like, oh, you're going to watch something good, or that it's of high quality or caliber. But you guys are saying you've watched a little bit. Well, David, you watched it all. Kenny, you watched the first episode, and that it actually is.
I like the first episode.
It's pretty good, right? I mean, like, it's actually pretty good.
And it's interesting too, because like not only does Netflix have a lot of money, but Riot, Tencent has a shit ton of money. So it's like both of these giant studios, you know,
really well animated,
spending a lot of money to advertise these shows. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think I'm still seeing advertisements for Arcane, and it's the entire first season's been out for I think 2 weeks at this point, and they've already announced a season 2.
Yeah, what'd you guys think of
it's been?
Go, David.
I was just gonna say it's been in the top 10 for a bit now. I don't think it's in the top 10 right now.
I think it moved out of the top 10, but it was for a while.
Yeah.
What did you think about them doing the staggered release for this show? I don't know why they did that, or I don't really understand it. But do you think it was like a marketing thing? I don't know. What was their thought behind that? It seemed like it built hype. Like it kind of, whatever it was, it like kind of worked. More people were talking about it each time that the more episodes dropped. But I don't know.
Well, so it made sense because there's 9 episodes total. They release 3 episodes every week, and the first 3 episodes are kind of in one time period, and then it time leaps starting episode 4, and then 4 through 9 is like in the same time period. So if you watch it from week to week, I mean, that definitely, and episodes 3 and 6 were obviously cliffhangers. So they definitely leaned in really hard into like the,
Hey, David, I actually have a big question about Arcane too. Okay. Right. I know one character from League of Legends, and his name is Fiddlesticks. Is Fiddlesticks in the show?
Oh my God, Kenny.
No. So
Fiddlesticks didn't make the cut?
Okay, I love Fiddlesticks. But the cool thing about Arcane, and won't go too deep into it because we'll talk about it.
We'll do a full review.
Future.
I guess we're going to try to do a full review.
Yeah, right. Jerry's just got to watch it.
I have to honestly, I've just got to do it. I've just got to
give it a chance. Like, the coolest thing about Arcane.
Okay, stop watching the new It's Always Sunny season.
No 30 Rock. No Masked Singer. I've got to. Oh yeah, David, the new, and it's funny. It's funny, bro. It's funny.
You got to watch.
Honestly. Yeah, you do. Actually, everybody listening should watch that too.
Wait, fuck Arcane. Go watch Always Sunny.
I'm about to say, and then Jerry, he's also got to stop watching the one thing that he watches all the time. Vampire Night. He's just a huge Vampire Night. He loves Vampire Night because we're here at the Vampire Night podcast where we talk about Vampire Night.
I'm reversing out of the podcast.
All he watches is Vampire Night, guys.
I'm going in reverse out of the podcast.
It's the story about Yuki Cross at the Cross Academy.
10 out of 10, best show. It's all I watch. I actually just play it on repeat. My entire apartment is just Vampire Night on repeat. Actually,
all those pops.
I've never left. Yeah. I stay at home and just watch Vampire Night every day.
No. But so the thing with Arcane is that there is a I don't know what you would call it, but there is an assumption that you need to have played the game League of Legends to understand and truly appreciate the show, and you actually don't. You can go in completely blind, not knowing shit about League of Legends, and still really enjoy the show because of the animation, the voice acting, the music. Overall, I loved Arcane. So for those of you that are listening that haven't watched it yet and you're like thinking about it, I would recommend to just watch it because it's really good. And even if you haven't played the game, doesn't matter. So That's all I wanted to say.
Well, David, can you preface for our listeners what your relationship with League of Legends is, just so that they understand?
Just go ahead.
I don't want to like
your League account.
I don't want to out your biases or anything, but like I know that you liked it. I know you enjoyed it.
I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money on League of Legends, and I have played this game since it was in beta in 2010, and so I've been with this game since the beginning. So it's, it holds a special place in my heart. Something that my friends and I enjoy playing. So it's a fun game. But
so you might, whether you know it or not, be coming in with a little bit
about League of Legends.
With a little bit of bias towards the property, at least compared to Kenny.
Oh, absolutely.
You're telling me Fiddlesticks isn't in the
honestly, I was only gonna watch it.
Season 2.
I was only gonna watch it if Fiddlesticks was in it. Literally, that was it. That's my only reason.
You heard it here first, guys. Fiddlesticks confirmed for Arcane season 2.
Yeah, David has put it on the list.
You have no idea who Fiddlesticks is, and I can already tell that you would love Fiddlesticks.
I don't even. Yeah, I have no fucking idea, but I want him in the show. I want him in the show.
He's like a little scarecrow.
He's a scarecrow that knows your fear.
I want him in the show.
He lumbers around. It's hilarious.
I want him in the show.
All the other characters like walk or float.
Just based off the Funko Pops, I really like the buff guy with the big rock in his hand. What's his name? Braun or something?
Oh, Braum.
Is he in the show?
No. So
David, they left out all the good characters. No Fiddlesticks, no Braum. What are we doing here?
So in my opinion, the coolest thing with League of Legends is the lore and character design. And so in Arcane, we are set in the city of Piltover and Zon. They're like twin cities.
Right.
And we're basically looking at the stories of the champions from Piltover and Zon. Braum is from the Freljord, which, based off of how successful Arcane is, I would not be surprised if Riot starts like trying to get commission or whatever
spin-offs or other shows.
Every single for every single like major continent or city in the world of League of Legends.
In League of Legends though, cool. What is the battlefield that they fight in?
So they fight on what's called Summoner's Rift.
Okay.
So the whole thing with League of Legends is kind of like, I think it's like Smite, where you're a person but you summon gods to fight in your stead. Is that right?
Oh no, in Smite it's like just the gods are warring.
Yeah, it's like warring gods.
Oh, yeah. They're literally just like battling each other.
Oh, okay. Well, in League there's like these, I guess they're omniscient or whatever. There's like these hooded figures that summon champions from these different regions, and then they just have these champions just happen to have their own lore and backstory and stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's similar to like Fate almost. Where Fate summons historical figure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And where is Fiddlesticks from?
Oh, fuck.
I honestly don't know. I think he is from Zon.
Oh fuck!
What?
Oh,
okay,
fuck.
Fiddlesticks has got to be.
Why the fuck is he not in there? God damn it!
No. From Noxus. So there's like a continent called Noxus in League of Legends. They're like Nazis or something. They're very evil.
I thought they just left out Fiddlesticks just cause for a second.
I would have been pissed. If for real Fiddlesticks was from Zon, that is in Arcane, I would be pissed if he was not.
God, that would have sucked.
No, we're supposed to get Warwick, who is like a man turned werewolf. So
okay, I'm into that.
Is Warwick is it going to be the old guy or
no? Kenny, you can't finish it. What? Is it gonna be the old guy?
Kenny's interested in Arcane.
Yeah, Kenny's like checking the. He's like checking the lore. He's like, wait, maybe there's something going on.
There's so much lore.
Okay, so I do have to tell our viewers at home, Arcane's not an anime. It's created by a French animation studio based off of is Riot an American company? I don't know where the fuck Riot's from.
Riot, they're Chinese.
Oh, they're Chinese. Okay.
No, sorry. So Tencent, which is a Chinese company, owns Riot, which is an American company. They're based in California.
So League basically owns most stuff.
Does it
Tencent owns a shit?
Do they own Fortnite or PUBG? Or both?
I think they own PUBG.
I feel like they own one of those like big battle royale games, but I can't remember.
They do. I think it was PUBG.
I don't think it's Fortnite though, because that would be crazy.
Fortnite is owned by.
No, Joe, you're right. They own PUBG.
It's PUBG. Okay, it's PUBG. I got it. Okay, so that's crazy. Tencent's crazy, but
they also own like every phone game in existence, like just straight up. Any gacha phone game, they own a billion of them. Yeah,
it's kind of
they owned FFBE. They owned like a portion of their servers in China.
Damn.
It's fucking wild.
They're honestly probably like a multi-billion-dollar company or some shit right now. I'm sure. But So to explain to our viewers, this is a very anime adjacent type of show. Arcane is kind of in that same realm where we would talk about something like a Castlevania, in that like it's very anime styled. It's clearly anime inspired, and I think that's where we kind of we're like, okay, we should probably talk about Arcane on the podcast because it's clearly got a lot of influences. And, from a Chinese/American company, the lore and things like that are built around this sort of series. There's just a lot to talk about here. Obviously, it's not exactly an anime, but it's still worth us having a little convo about. Just like I'd like to in the future, maybe even talk about a very popular Chinese anime that came out this year that we actually kind of missed. And I don't know if our viewers have ever talked about it, but a series called Link Click that came out earlier this year. Supposedly it was a massive success. One of the most successful like Chinese animes to come out. We just kind of missed it, honestly, and I don't even think we like brought it up during the show at all. So,
and there's a Chinese anime I want to review too.
Which one?
Scissor 7 on Netflix. Everybody, I've watched the first. I
forgot that was
really good. It's also very short. They're like 14-minute episodes.
The more that we start to, the idea of the Uncensored Anime Podcast is obviously we're not just going to just review just anime, We're talking about anime adjacent. We're talking about anime other things. So hopefully the Arcane conversation isn't too weird to anime fans because I don't know. I don't know if anime fans, I don't know if y'all accept it as one of your own or if anime fans are putting it off. I haven't really heard much conversation in the anime community about Arcane aside from those that are fans of League. But most of the conversation was happening more around the fact that Arcane is just really high quality. It's just a really good show, and that's what people keep talking about. And that's just happening more outside of like the anime community, more just in like the TV and movies communities that I frequent, which is where I'm mainly seeing a lot of that conversation. But
yeah,
we'll watch it. We'll watch it, David, just for you.
Hey, Jerry.
We'll watch it. Huh?
But
I mean, we'll do it for David.
Fiddlesticks in season 2 confirmed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I pretty much have only signed up to do this because I expect Fiddlesticks in seasons.
Yeah, once Fiddlesticks is in the show, that's whenever.
If he's not in season 2, then I'm never playing League of Legends.
I'm
yeah. We're gonna riot. We're gonna
install in the game. I'm never playing ever again.
Yeah, League's out.
We're gonna riot.
Okay, so the second thing
let me make that joke one more time. We're gonna riot.
Oh, he really made the joke 3 times just for you, dude.
That's how comedy works, I think.
So the Cowboy Bebop live action.
3.
So Kenny, you haven't watched any of it yet. David, you finished all 10 episodes somehow.
Well, actually, I've seen a lot of it with David asleep on the couch.
Oh, fuck. So David's watched. He's watched.
Not only have I watched it, I've gone back and rewatched certain scenes, Jerry. That's how much I loved it.
He had to because he slept through it.
That's what I understand. I don't know how we're not watching shows. Whatever. David has to watch them 3 times.
My whole body hurts.
Come on, y'all have no excuse.
Yo, okay, so I watched the first episode. Kenny, you haven't watched it yet. David, you've watched all of it. And like I said, there's this really great review by this awesome guy, Mother's Basement. But
what's his name?
Death through Mother's Basement. No big deal. So y'all, I think
giving people free traffic, Jerry.
Can we at least talk about? Can we at least talk about the thing that happened all over the internet after the show aired?
Yeah,
and that was the massive outcry. No, of what the fuck did they do to Ed? Like,
I mean, shows up honestly, like a fever dream.
Yeah,
he does it like the.
Ed shows up at the very last episode. Supposedly, it's almost like a post-credit scene of the last episode.
Spoilers.
But the moment the show went live, pretty much the internet went wild about it. Ed's face was plastered all over news articles. There were YouTube videos, interviews with the actress, actor. They use they them pronouns. The person, I don't even actor, I guess. The actor portraying the character uses they them pronouns. But obviously Ed is still using she her pronouns, which is through interviews we know that's the case. So the actor portraying Ed is the actual character is still using she her pronouns. So that's important to remember because I think a lot of people were kind of up in arms because the person that was playing Ed uses they them pronouns, so they thought that the live action was trying to change the gender of the character, but that's not the case. The character in the show is still going to use she her pronouns and still identify as a woman, to my understanding, just like the original anime series. At least that's how Ed has been being referred to. When the actor does interviews, they use she her pronouns when talking about Ed. So I assume that's the case. So
they're already doing interviews with them? That's wild.
Oh, like the moment this show dropped, it was like this is this person's very first role ever. This is the first thing they've ever done ever. So I think that they're receiving a lot of sort of unwarranted backlash. The internet exploded because the costuming was pretty junky, and I think a lot of people didn't like the way it looked costume-wise. And on top of that, the direction that was chosen for the character also a little bit wonky, maybe a little too.
I heard it was
over the top.
It's just cringy and corny.
I heard it was like that meme where it's like you know the meme where it's like you wake up and you're in front of your friend like no it's 2009. We got to get to the we got to get to the whatever.
A lot of people described it. Yeah. A lot of people described it as an early 2000s like commercial. It looked like, a Honeycombs commercial or something. But I don't know. I mean, I was surprised that was the massive story that came from it, because prior to the show airing, the big thing was where's Ed, right? That was the big thing. So obviously the directors, the creators of the show decided, oh, well, that'll be the fun thing that they get, Ed. But in doing so, it ended up being like a massive backfire because they just like botched. For a lot of fans, they seem to have just botched Edward because the character just didn't adapt well. A lot of people have suggested that maybe the character should have been toned down to an extent to try to meet live action standards or make things a little bit. I mean, you don't have to make them super realistic, but if you could have just made them a little bit more adaptable. But it's a tough character to adapt. The character's really weird in the show. The character is really cartoony, Looney Tunes-esque is how people have described Edward. And it just makes for a really strange transition into live action, where characters like Jet and Spike are much more grounded, and Faye much easier to adapt into a live action show. So obviously, and I think they're going to get you guys think they're going to get a season 2? I think they're actually going to get
absolutely.
one. I don't know how, but
I think it's still at this moment. I think it's still top.
Yo,
10.
That shit was riding the top 10 for like weeks. I was like, who the fuck was watching this show?
It's been like 8.
David,
it's been like between.
Who was watching this show? I was like, I guess everybody.
No matter how bad it was, everybody was watching.
The buzz was all over it. So I think they're going to get a season 2, which is kind of bonkers to me, because I really didn't expect this. I thought this was going to be all they were going to get. I think that they should probably do season 2 as if that's all they're going to get. Honestly, I think that I don't think they'll be able to pull Buzz to another season and keep it going. I think they need to just finish what they can in season 2. They already, I haven't watched the show, but I have spoiled myself extensively because I've literally watched like everyone review it. Because I was just like, I don't know, but I'm gonna still watch it.
Jerry mainly agrees with what Jeff Thu said.
I mean, Jeff's great. Jeff's great. He's pretty good.
You want to check it out? I know we only have 500 subscribers or something, like 400. He's got like a million, something like that. But if any of our subscribers are not subscribed to him, please go over check out Mother's Basement on YouTube.
You guys are
hosted by Jeff Thu.
Whatever. David, you've watched the whole thing. Would you be excited to watch another season at the very least? Like without getting to, would you be excited to watch another season?
The thing is, starting episode, well, honestly, like halfway through episode 1, I was like, okay, the only way I'm going to enjoy this is if I do not take it seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made it easier. There were still a lot of random decisions that were made, and like some very, questionable casting choices. I thought, but I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm not excited. So, like when it comes out, I'm gonna watch it for sure. But I wish that they kind of just wrapped it up in this first 10 episodes.
Gotcha. Yeah, so. I think they should have just done one season. There's only 26 episodes of 26 20-minute episodes of content and a movie. Right. That's the entirety of Cowboy Bebop. There is no more content. So at this point, like they've adapted a pretty hefty chunk, although they also kind of started writing their own storylines, which is where a lot of the complaints came in for this season.
And it's bad.
Yeah, pretty much everything they wrote was rough. And any attempts to adapt the original content was better to mediocre, is what I've heard. So it's kind of like, it's really been a tough line to walk with anything like this. But I mean, that's not good to hear that you're not super excited. But I think we're going to get a season 2, and I think we're going to have to deal with it. And I hope that season 2 is all it is, and then we're done with this live action Bebop. But maybe season 2 is going to surprise all of us. I don't know. I have like some hope that like it seems like the stylization, some of the acting choices, some of it was on the money. Like some of it kind of works.
Mustafa Shakir best actor
nailed
in the
it.
whole show.
Nailed it somehow.
He is my favorite. He's the best.
Somehow nailed it. And I think that like
John Cho did okay. He did pretty
in
good.
a season 2, all they really have to do is course correct some of the writing issues, and they might have their own little Cowboy Bebop live action universe going for them that might actually kind of work. And I think that is the weirdest part about this, is that it was like so close. If the writing had just not sucked dick, and like some of the direct, like I heard they do a lot of those like slightly tilted angles in the show, and I guess like if they hadn't done that shit so much, maybe the show would have actually like kind of worked. It wouldn't have been perfect, but I think that it would have worked. But okay, we'll get more deep into that in a later episode when Kenny and I have watched every episode, so we can talk about some of the intricacies of specific episodes and some of the episodes, because I've seen episode 1. I know David and I could probably talk about that now, but we'll save it for a later episode. So if you're interested in that, let us know in the comments, so we can, if you let us know in the comments, it'll encourage me to stop watching 30 Rock and instead watch Cowboy.
It's just not gonna happen, guys.
I'm not saying, if you guys get in the comments, if you guys are in the comments like, Jerry, I really want to hear you and David and Kenny go on about then fuck it, I'll watch it, because then I'll know.
But if you want to see us review 30 Rock seasons, get in the comments, guys.
Hey.
I mean, honestly,
we're the whole podcast.
I've binged like 4 seasons of that damn show.
Tracy Morgan is hilarious in that show.
I mean, Tracy Morgan is hilarious.
He's so fucking funny.
I mean, that whole main cast is so
guys,
good,
I don't know what to say. He's so funny. Tina Fey's funny.
He's so funny in that show.
Tina
Fey writes him great.
Yo,
I can't. I always forget that he was on SNL for so long. Like
who?
So like Tracy Morgan.
Yeah,
Tracy and Tina met that way. Yeah, that's the whole. A lot of, I mean, Tina always talks about how a lot of that show comes from her experiences working with Tracy on SNL for real. So that's like even weirder to think about. But obviously, it's like way too. We're not talking about 30 Rock on the damn anime podcast.
Hey, this is the 30 Rock podcast.
God damn it. Okay, the third big show that we're gonna save for another episode, I guess. This is the sneak peek podcast, I guess. JoJo's Part 6. We can talk a little bit about this right now, because I think we should, because I have already watched 8 episodes. I'm literally, after we're done with this podcast, I'm going to eat dinner and watch the last 4. So, like, that's kind of the saddest part about this, because we could literally, like, film this tomorrow if we wanted. But Part 6, I mean, not like literally, Kenny, but you know what I mean.
I think we can tomorrow.
Metaphorically. JoJo's Part 6, guys.
Oh, my God.
I think it's...
Hey,
it's great. I think that they've...
Jerry.
I think it's
You
great.
haven't even made it to something that me and David are both upset with, though.
Probably. Guys, I don't know. I've only seen 8 episodes.
Here's
what I'll say. Okay, spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead a little bit.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in the episodes he's already watched. So, Jerry, what's your opinion on the CGI stance?
Oh,
I don't think there are up to that point.
There are.
The main one that there's a couple, but it's not. It hasn't been that bad. The main one is Zhongli A's floating stand is CGI
Manhattan,
for all
Manhattan transfer.
The one that he shoots through. That was all. Okay, yeah. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead for
at least the first 8 episodes of Part 6, Stone Ocean. So,
as we all know, is one before Steel Ball Run Part 7.
We're gonna get really deep into it once I watch the last 4 episodes, because the boys have said the last 4 episodes are game changers. So we're going to get really deep into it when we get there. Zhongli A's stand is pretty much all CGI in the front half of the show. Yeah. I don't think there was a single scene where it wasn't. White Snake, White Noise? White Snake.
God, they call him Pale Snake.
I know, it's so... my head is like... I hate reading the subtitle and like them speaking out. They say it in English, damn it!
I just listened to
my
it.
My brain is like...
the subtitle. When I see
it hurts.
I just like listen to it.
Like Hermes fucking stand... I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck was there? Smack or some shit? What they translated as? It's like Smack. Why not?
But Smack is also the name of a band.
Why not fucking Smooch? What the fuck? That would have been way better than Kiss.
Come on, Smack.
What the fuck? The word was Kiss.
Because they wanted to also do another band
It says it on her body. It says Kiss in big letters.
On her
just
stand,
fucking... Yeah. And then there was like one name that they like let go. They just... the bombs were called Like a Virgin, and they were just like they just subtitled it Like a Virgin, and I was like, so they can afford that one, I guess. I don't know. I was like, who's fucking making?
Isn't that a Madonna song too?
That's like that's like a popular big song. I was like, so they can just afford to subtitle Like a Virgin, but they can't use.
I mean, FF because they were like Foo Fighters.
Yeah, they did FF and Gigi Dolls. They just kind of went like abbreviation for those two, which I thought was interesting. And then obviously turning Stone Freed into Stone Ocean. I think that one kind of works since the show is aptly titled Stone Ocean.
I mean, they pulled a golden wind. I mean, because that's what they did for Giorno Stand.
I don't hate that decision, I guess, but smooch or smack to kiss to smack is the one that got me the most. I was like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. But beside the point, White Snake was also mostly CGI when we saw him. Only occasionally was he not. But Star Platinum and Stone Freed have been mostly animated traditionally.
It's I've noticed it's just like the villain stands.
Yeah, Kiss was mostly standing
CGI.
Yeah. And then
you'll see in the
what
next
about
few episodes,
I'm trying to think. McQueen's stand was like also kind of CGI looking, but I liked the look of it.
No, it was his was like the
way it would materialize and it would come out. Yeah. What was that one called? Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Highway to Hell. Yeah.
That's a good stand name. But they translated that one to something. Oh, they fucking called it Freeway to Hell or some shit.
Freeway to Hell.
I was like, you motherfucker. Just call it Road to Hell or something. I don't know. Freeway's a stupid word.
Freeway. Take it the freeway.
I was like,
I just think,
who's making these decisions?
Now? I think just if they're going to do the subtitled version, just have the subtitled ones.
Yeah.
Have the name.
I just don't get it.
I just don't get it. Like just subtitle those.
Yeah.
And then the English, you can just change it altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's some sort of copyright conflict with even subtitling it, is my assumption, but I have no idea. Like, can they not just... I mean, they clearly got away with Like a Virgin. That's why I'm like, I don't understand what crosses... Maybe Netflix just already happened to own Like a Virgin. And they're like, oh shit. They were like, oh shit, we actually already got that one. Just throw it in. They were like, oh, we can totally use it.
They have to buy like every single copyright for every single name, right?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is the first season that is fully Netflix.
This is Netflix's baby now. They were like, let's go in on JoJo's, which I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised of all the properties that Netflix decided to go big on. I don't know. I didn't expect JoJo's, but I guess good idea. It's a massive property now. It's everywhere. I
mean, it's a very smart decision.
You can buy JoJo's posters at fucking $5 Below. I'm like,
yep. You can get them for $5 or less.
Yeah, $5 or less.
Yeah.
JoJo's started. I'm like, is it that popular? I don't know.
I mean, is it $5 Below? I mean, that's...
Like I said, this is part 6, which is just before part 7, which ever since part 3 was over, people have been like, but when we get to part 7...
Yeah.
So...
I mean, part 7 is considered by many... Well, not by many. I mean, I would say by the anime and manga community, it's considered to be one of the best... On my anime list, it's in the top 10 manga of all time. So, like...
I'd say it's like number 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's like up there. So like, it's kind of hard. Like Steel Ball Run is considered, I guess, a masterpiece of manga. Like I don't know how else to put it. So I mean, that's going to be a really tough situation for David Production because they're going to have to adapt it and not get shit. I mean, I don't think anyone's been upset about any of their adaptations so far.
Right.
They've killed the JoJo adaptation.
Yeah, to my understanding.
No, I mean, just part 5, like. Oh my god, that part was amazing.
Yeah, they've done the most to make the best adaptations they can be, and I think part 6, what I've seen so far, stands up to it as well. I don't think that they've decreased in quality at all comparatively now that they're under Netflix. Like I've liked it a lot. And the intro song, that shit was so heat. And the
outro song.
Oh my god! I said they
got Duffy. I was like, shit.
David said Duffy.
Go from Jodeci to Duffy.
Jodeci was pretty heat though.
I don't like, but I mean, Walk Like an Egyptian still comes on the radio. Like,
Walk Like an Egyptian is heat.
I was like, okay, all bets are off. They can put whatever is in it.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I loved both the opening and ending songs. I wonder if
that shit was heat.
How long the opening song will last until they change it? I wonder if they'll do it like since it's like Netflix original. I wonder if they'll like change it every part that's released.
What y'all's guess on more? What do you guys think? Because the manga of Stone Ocean is the same length as about Diamonds Unbreakable / Golden Wind, and both of those animes had 39 episodes each. So what do you got? I mean, we're 12 episodes in, and it adapts about 50 chapters of the manga.
It's going quick.
What do you guys think? I mean, do you think we have?
I think it'll be about the same. I think they'll be consistent with their releases. Because I mean, the previous parts were the same ish.
So I'm trying to think. How do you think? Because they've dropped 12. You think they're going to do like a 13 episode batch and another 13 episode batch? I'm trying to think. Would that put it?
I could see
39. Is my math off? Wait, 13.
Wait, you need 1 more. It would have to be 13, 14, Jerry.
Oh,
so 3 plus 2 plus 3 is only 8.
Fuck that, and that would be really. It would be really weird if it was like 12, 13, 14 though. Don't you guys think that would be kind of odd?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't just release. That makes me think it might be 36. They might pace it up.
12.
Do 12. Yeah. So they might actually do 3 episodes less than the last.
Yeah.
It might be.
Like I said, they're moving fast.
Yeah.
You know,
it wouldn't surprise me.
Classically goes fast, but
I think that people might be a little bummed if they. I mean, people have already been bummed about. I think Part 5 benefited from the speeding up. I think some people were a little bit bummed about Part 4 being a bit sped up because I think people wanted a little more time in that world. Just because, I mean, everybody likes Diamond is Unbreakable. Stardust Crusaders is the only arc that like really got fully adapted. You know what I mean? Because they turned that into like 49 episodes or something, and it's even. I think it's even shorter than Diamond is. I think that it's shorter than all 3 of these later parts.
It is. Yeah.
So Diamond is, Stardust got like the full treatment, but Diamond is Unbreakable and Golden Wind have gotten paced up, which again I think Golden Wind benefit. So I don't know how people feel, but 12/20 for 36. That sounds like what I think is going to happen, David. I think you're on the money. I think we're going to get 36. I think we're going to get 3 batches of 12, and I think they'll come out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they're just going to like drop? I don't know when they're going to. I don't know. What do you think? We'll get them all by the end of next year?
Yeah, I think 3 months breaks. I bet.
Yeah. So I think March will be like the next drop.
August maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like end of February, beginning of March, and then
Yeah, I don't know if people know this listening, but what's weird about this is that Netflix on December 1st released the first 12 episodes worldwide. So all around the world, if you had access to a Netflix account, you could watch the first 12 episodes of Stone Ocean. But starting in January, it's going to start airing weekly in Japan on a channel, which I'm forgetting what the channel is. But there's a channel that is going to actually syndicate it. It's going to syndicate and run all of Stone Ocean, the first 12 episodes, through to the end of March, I believe, is when it's going to finish up. So some people are estimating that before that run ends, Netflix will drop another 12. That's what people are estimating, and then maybe there'll be a little break, and then the next 12 will start airing in syndication on TV, similarly to what's happening right now. So maybe by the end of March is when we'll get the next batch, and so on and so forth. Essentially making this a weekly anime being released in the weirdest fucking way possible. In that, like, we're getting worldwide 12-episode drops at the beginning of the season, and then it's like airing weekly anyway in Japan just cause, and then it's just going to keep happening, but it's just going to be weekly until the show's over, essentially, which just makes for a very strange release schedule for fans of the show, because we have to kind of figure out, and Netflix has given us no information about when the next chunk is going to drop, so who knows what comes next for this adaptation, but I'm excited to talk more about it in depth once I finish it with you guys. But
that's one thing that's really annoying. I wish Netflix would be transparent with their like saying like they didn't do this with Beastars or I guess they did do this with, Beastars was just the one release, but like with Shaman King, with Eden Zero, they didn't like publicize, okay, we're releasing this chunk here, this chunk there. They didn't show like the entire release schedule up front.
Yeah, so we actually get.
Oh, Netflix does that, because that's kind of. You don't find out until like a week.
Shaman King comes out, I think, tomorrow, the next part.
Oh, really?
So
yeah. Eden Zero came out, I think,
like last week or something. Yeah, 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, Eden Zero is now done. They have all of it up on Netflix.
Yeah, all season 1.
Shaman King Season 1 Part 2 comes out tomorrow on Netflix. But they waited until like a week before to tell us that it was coming out. And they were like, oh yeah, here you go. More of this is coming out. Kind of makes it tough for a fan to even follow when they need to go watch more episodes, which is in turn going to hurt the amount of viewership on their own shit. So I don't really understand what their process. They're not even like the same thing is happening with like Komi and Blue Period, and that like if you go to Komi and Blue Period's page, it doesn't even tell you like when the next episode drops, which kind of like
it won't tell you till like 1 or 2 days before.
Yeah, it's like right before it'll pop up and it'll be like comes out tomorrow. But I just wish that like every week it just said like new episode next Friday or something like that. Like,
well, Komi comes out every Wednesday. And
yeah, I mean,
comes out every Saturday.
You can do the math in your head and figure it out, which is what I found out. But I just wish it was advertised, because I think that it just makes advertising sense to put at the top like if you want someone to come back to the show every week, make sure that you're putting new episode next Friday at the top or something like that. Like I don't know what Netflix.
Well, no, it says every Wednesday. If you go to Comey, it says new episode every Wednesday.
Damn, it doesn't on
every Saturday.
It doesn't on the PS5 or that's what I'm watching it on.
Wait, I watched it on PS5 and it
no, I literally was just on it today. It does not.
I mean, it's updated, but every time I look at it, it says new episodes every Wednesday, new episodes every Saturday.
Because I know it says new episods weekly, but it doesn't say the actual day.
No, it does. It says every Wednesday. No,
you're playing. You're playing.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, get in the comments. Get in the comments. Get in the comments. Get in the comments.
Everybody.
Get in the comments. Get in the comments.
Who is wrong? David or Jerry? Make your votes.
It makes me wonder if
vote for David. Upvote for David. Downvote for Jerry.
Wait, no, downvote. No, because what if I'm right? No, don't downvote.
If you're right, then we're getting all the downvotes, brother. I don't know what to say.
Just comment. Just comment. Just comment.
Upvotes for David. Downvotes for Jerry.
Okay. So if you're on the computer,
open it on the web browser. I'm curious. Yeah.
If you go on the computer and look at it, it says new episode weekly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so potentially that is what it said. I thought that's what it said on PS4.
I think it's both. Maybe it's both.
It could be. I do know that yesterday when I went to Comey, I scrolled to the bottom and it was like it showed episode 9, but it was like grayed out, and it was like episode comes out tomorrow or something like that. But then when I went to Blue Period, I was checking them both yesterday. It didn't have that for the next episode, which I thought was weird. So I think maybe like the day or two before, maybe it updates to say. But I just think it should just have a standing on every app across every platform, whether it does or doesn't. It should just always have a standing banner. Because I just don't get it. If Netflix wants people to engage in their fucking content, then they need to put some goddamn time and effort. I'm getting heated about this. They need to put some goddamn time and effort into the way they release these things. Because, you know what I mean? Like, we should know when the next chunk of episodes is coming out, so we know when to be. I mean, I get it, like waiting a little bit. You know, you can wait like a month out maybe and to release a release date. But like with a big show like The Witcher, you know, we've known that new episodes are coming for months. And if you go to The Witcher right now, it says on there, new episodes, December 16th or something like that. I don't know what the date is. It probably is that. Like, go to The Witcher on Netflix right now, David. It'll say, once you click into the title, right at the top, new episodes this day. Why is anime not getting the same treatment?
That's so weird that it's so different from show to show. Because I clicked on my Communicate Communicate, it says new episode coming Thursday. Yeah. And then on Blue Period, it says new episode weekly, but when you click onto it, it doesn't show the next date.
That's what I'm saying, dog. It's like they can't get their shit straight with anime. It's weird because Netflix is putting money into anime. They bought JoJo's. They're putting money into anime.
Blue Period,
they care. They bought the two big hitters of the season and are doing them weekly.
I think there's a better show this season.
You get King's Ranking or whatever.
What?
No. Talking about
Are you disrespecting my show, bro?
I know it's good.
Listen,
I love the first episode.
Boji, okay. With my boy Boji, we all know what the fuck's going on.
I've only heard good things. Even my boy Mother's Basement has put it on, Kenny. He said that it's one of the best. So
it's the best this season.
Okay, but yeah, I'm just bummed out that Netflix is doing this to all of us. The Comey subtitling thing keeps getting under my skin every week. It just blows my.
It's funny because have you noticed? I don't know if it was like this on earlier episodes, but I've noticed on the later episodes, it's been saying who is subtitling the show.
It does. It puts her name at the end.
It says like subtitles.
I'm like, yo, why are you doxing this lady?
Netflix
like,
put him on blast.
Yo, I would delete my name off that shit real fast. If I were her,
I would not take credit for this.
She's probably on Twitter too. I'm sure people have been running her, which is not okay. But whatever. It's just It's bummy. I just am pissed that Netflix wants to they want to put their stake in the anime like content area, but they just don't care yet. They just wanted the money. They expected all of us to just flock over and click their shit by continuing to not put out better quality product. And I think that's it's getting bummy, Netflix. You guys are what are they? Are they a multi-billion-dollar company at this point? They've got to be, right? They've got to be worth $1 billion. Come on.
I mean, I think Netflix's net worth is as of October, $289 billion.
Okay, yeah, this is a $289 billion company.
They've made $23 billion in the last 9 months, Jerry.
Oh!
They made $23 billion in revenue the last 20
Pay the subtitler, please. Just pay her. Pay her to do good. We deserve it, Netflix.
Isn't it also like the software too? Is it the software?
Yeah, I have read a lot about that, and I've tried to understand it. It seems like Netflix might not be paying for a great software when it comes to subtitling, and it has something to do with streamlining multi-language subtitles. I think that has to do with it in that like they have to streamline these because Netflix is streaming into however many countries, so they have all these multi-layered languages of subtitling, and there's some sort of again, I just don't understand all the intricacies of it because I don't understand the program. I don't understand all the layers of it. But there is supposedly something that worked there. But if Netflix is the company that should be able to pay for like the better software. That's all I can think about. It's like if there's a better software out there, they should be the company that can afford it. Because how much are they worth again, David?
$290 billion.
Jesus fucking Christ, they can afford it. Okay,
they can afford it. If Crunchyroll can do it,
right?
If Funimation can do it,
right? If Sony,
they should be able to do it.
Well, wait, Sony might actually. How much money is Sony worth? Now I'm curious because Crunchyroll and Funimation are both Sony properties now. So I'm curious. Are they?
Okay. Guess higher or lower.
I'm struggling. My brain first thinks higher because
who do you think has more money between?
I want to say Sony's got to be higher because they produce like electronics and shit, right? Like it's got to be worth more money, right?
Yeah, Sony.
David, it's got to be worth. Sony has to be worth more money.
I was. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, it's obvious then. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, but I was honestly, I was reconsidering, but I was also like,
I'm just gonna go on the Wikipedia page because I just want to.
What does it say? What
straight. If I'm reading this correctly.
So we're just using Wikipedia.
Wikipedia says that their current revenue is $206 billion US.
No, that puts it lower than Netflix.
They're slightly below Netflix.
That would put Sony below Netflix.
I wonder if that's just like their valuation.
Yeah, I must say maybe it's not like a total net worth.
Their total. Would that be their total assets? Because their total assets, according to Wikipedia, is $2.59 trillion. So they have a lot of assets.
Right.
I bet that makes a difference only because of the fact that like they are a company that has their hand in like technology and like so many Sony's such a broad company. So yeah, that trillion number might be so that might make more sense.
Yeah, because
I would assume they would.
His total assets are only $39 billion.
Oh, okay. See,
versus the total assets of Sony, which is like $280 trillion.
That's great. That's bonkers. Those companies. Why are those numbers so like unbelievably high? Whatever. These are the companies that are handling your anime. Damn it. These are the companies. Sony and Netflix are pretty much. I mean, down to the wire. It's pretty much like since Sony owns Funimation and Crunchyroll, and Netflix exists, all the other companies are pretty much bailed. Like, there's almost no one else trying to subtitle. What else do we watch? I mean, Amazon gets a show or two every season. And High Dive gets a show or two every season, something like that, and that's like a small ass company in like Austin, Texas, or some shit. And I think that's all that's left. Everyone else that's tried ends up leaving the anime streaming war. They just can't stay in business. So Netflix and Sony have pretty much pushed everyone out. And at the end of the day, your anime is pretty much going to be getting subtitled by either Netflix or Sony, and that's it.
I can't wait till Disney starts buying them.
But
Disney
wait, that's already it is happening though, right?
Already happened,
Disney Plus has already gotten a couple, right? So Disney's getting their hand in the ring, which is I don't know what's happening. Is anime that mainstream now?
Yes. We can talk about this. This is some news. So Disney. Oh wait, this was back in October. I guess I completely overlooked this.
Did we not touch on this during our big news episode? I thought we did.
We talked about summertime rendering,
which Disney grabbed, right?
Yes. So Disney announced 4 new anime for streaming in 2022.
Oh fuck!
One of them is summertime rendering.
Okay.
I think that's the only one that's been like shown.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Oh no, the sequel to Tatami Galaxy, Yojo Han Time Machine Blues.
Yo, Tatami Galaxy's fire, bro.
That's 2.
Well, bro, I mean,
Black Rock Shooter Dawnfall.
Oh yes. That's I think that's a sequel also to maybe some other anime. I'm remembering something.
And then the 4th one is Twisted Wonderland.
Never heard of that one. Okay, cool.
Which is a reimagining of Disney's villains as they attend Night Raven College.
Got a blast. What? I'm not watching that shit. That sounds cringy. That sounds real cringy.
Anime, baby, Disney anime.
Okay, wait, so is Pete gonna be in it?
Pete.
Wait, is this Pete? Kingdom Hearts, the anime?
Pete?
The bad guy Pete. I thought you were talking about Pete. I thought you were talking about Pete Davidson.
No, is Pete gonna be?
I was like, who's Pete Davidson gonna play?
I thought you were talking about Pete Wentz.
No, Pete.
Honestly, Pete Davidson.
Steamboat Willie.
Pete Davidson could totally play High School Jafar. I could see it. High School Jafar, Pete Davidson, High School Jafar.
No,
I'm here for it.
It's an anime. It's not live action though.
But that's what he.
Wait, what did you just say?
Oh,
it's an anime.
Did you say anime styled live action?
No, I'm saying that this is an anime, not a live action.
Oh no, I'm saying Pete Davidson's voice.
Like he could voice.
Yes. I think he'd be a good voice for. Yeah, he's done not quite a bit. Sorry, don't quote me on that. He has done some voice acting. Sorry. I know he just had that weird Tubi show with John Goodman and Tallahassee. I can never remember that dude's name. Woody Harrelson. They did a weird show.
Cheers. He was in the Angry Birds movie. Angry Birds movie 2.
Classic Pete Davidson.
He was Jerry in Angry Birds movie 2.
Jerry,
classic Pete Davidson. That's me, baby. That's me.
Now that we're talking about Pete Davidson, he was hilarious in the Roast of the Jonas Brothers, that new anime on Netflix.
Yeah, check that out. I know. Whatever. Okay, so we're over. So those were the main things we wanted to sneak. We're gonna get more into those three things, I think we probably will talk about all three of those things in one massive episode where we just do Cowboy Bebop, Arcane, and JoJo's Part 6. It'll just be a big we'll call it like Netflix extravaganza or some shit.
Netflix is ruining anime. That's what we're gonna name.
Actually, Kenny just came up with the thumbnail right there. Netflix is ruining anime. Netflix is ruining anime.
And everybody's gonna click it. Why is Netflix doing that?
No,
I like Netflix.
Arcane was good. That's what the people in the comments are gonna be saying.
And they'll be like, Arcane's not anime. So
we might even sneak in. And this is another new show that just came out on streaming as well. None of us have watched any of it yet, I don't think. And that's Super Crooks. This is another new anime. It's by the studio Bones. And it's based off of I don't even want to call it an American comic book. The author does not live in America, but he writes comic books for American publishing companies, which is also very strange. He's an Irish-born person. I think Irish is correct. And he also wrote Kick-Ass and Kingsman, so he's pretty well known amongst comic book fans. But Super Crooks is a story that he wrote, and it's been adapted into. I think this is like a prequel anime, is what I heard. So it's not actually a direct adaptation of the comic book, but it instead adds some story to the comic book story, which is interesting. It's about superheroes that I think also are villains. It's about villains. I'm not sure. I think that's why the title's like Super Crooks. There's like people with superpowers and they're crooks. You know what I mean? Haha. Play on words. But Studio Bones supposedly did a really good job with the animation. And supposedly it's a pretty slick story as well. And I think Kenjiro Suda plays the lead character. And Kenjiro is one of the best Japanese voice actors I've ever heard. But I might watch it dubbed just because I think it might. I don't know. What do you guys think? Japanese made, based off of an American or an English or a comic book written in English. What's the best way to watch this show? And the dub and sub premiered simultaneously, technically. Although I bet the anime was made with the subtitle or with the Japanese version in mind. That's my guess since it was made in Japan. What do you think is the proper way to watch the show? Sub or dub?
Hey, David, you first.
I will base it off of the source material's original language. So this was originally done in English. I'm going to watch it dubbed.
Okay. Kenny?
I turn things to Japanese and watch them with subtitles even whenever they are American made. I only watch in Japanese from now on, period. So, I'm going to be watching 30 Rock from now on in Japanese.
Kenny's favorite anime regular show.
Regular show.
Yeah.
I don't know. If there's a, it's
haven't you guys seen the Avatar: The Last Airbender Japanese dub?
With English subtitles.
Pretty solid. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and then of course we have to shout out friend of the show Matthew David Rudd.
Oh yes,
is a voice in Super Crooks.
Then we probably should watch it.
Congrats to Matt, and yes, I'll probably watch it dubbed. I kind of feel weird about it because I do bet I'd bargain to guess that the series was made with the Japanese voice actors in mind, since it was being produced in Japan. So I bet that the English dub is still the secondary audio track. You know what I mean? Like it was the second track made. But right. I do think that for this series, especially for a script like this I think that it might really do well with the English dub, because it was written, the original script was written in English and then turned into Japanese and then turned back into English, which is a really weird back and forth sort of thing. But, and by original script, I mean the original comic book, which I did, like I said, I don't think it's like an exact like 1-to-1 of this comic book. So it's kind of got its own original scripting, but it's based off characters that were originally written in English. So I think it'll be interesting. Maybe this is the type of show to watch it both. Like to watch it twice and watch it English and Japanese. I don't know. I'd love to see.
How many episodes is it?
8, maybe 10. Fuck me, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Are you guessing?
I think it's got to be in there somewhere.
Oh, it's it's 13 episodes.
13. Fuck. 12.
That's a big one.
No. But yeah, maybe. But it's still doable to watch both versions of it. But yeah. So boys, on that note, there's our little
Shonen
sneak peeker, our stuff. Can we talk about Shonen Jump?
Shonen Jump's pretty good. All right.
Can we talk about Shonen Jump?
Do we want to end with Shonen Jump, or do we want to sprinkle in some news?
Okay, let's end on Shonen Jump. What else do we need to talk about?
I just got some random things I just want our viewers to know about.
Let's do it. So we'll end on Shonen Jump. So David, give us the news, and then we'll go.
So have y'all seen the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie trailer?
Poster.
I
saw the poster. I was like, is the trailer out? I was like, where's the trailer?
I saw the word trailer.
No, David, I thought it was going to come out to the Game Awards or something. I was like, what? So, the poster looks cool. It's like Sonic on
April 8th release date too. That's pretty.
Oh, that's sooner than I realized.
That's soon, yeah.
Yeah. The poster looks kind of cool though.
It does.
Yeah.
Tails looks good. I think it's our first time seeing Tails, which is
right. Knuckles gonna be British, guys. What do you think?
You think Idris Elba's just gonna speak like normal? He's just gonna be like, "Yo, what's up, Sonic? How are you today?" I don't know.
When Knuckles walks up, they need to play the music from Sonic Adventure, where he like walks up, and it's what is that song?
The Pumpkin Hill Zone. It's not like
it's like some rap. Yeah, it's like some rap. It's like some hip hop song.
I will say Jim Carrey.
Why are they making Knuckles so black? Jim
Carrey does look a little bit ridiculous in this poster. I think he's in full. I mean, he's
bald.
He's looking full Dr. Eggman in this one, and it's getting to that point where. But I kind of dig it. I mean, I think it could be fun. But Tails looks really good.
Jim back is surprising to me, honestly.
Yeah.
They haven't confirmed Tails' voice actor, have they?
If they change it, I would laugh.
Here's the thing: in the end credit scenes of the first one, they got the voice actor from the video game to play the one line. I can't remember her name though off the top of my head. But I don't know.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, so that's the girl from the game.
Oh, so she's voicing it then. She's voicing Tails.
Pretty impressive, because the fact that Sonic and Knuckles both got ousted. You know what I mean? Like the original voice actors for Sonic and Knuckles got kicked from their roles and replaced by famous names. But
I sort of hate to say it too. I think maybe Ben Schwartz should just be Sonic going forward, though.
Man,
I liked old Sonic.
He was a pretty good Sonic.
I liked old Sonic and everything, but like
the last guy's been Sonic for a long time, and a lot of people are big fans of him. But I like Ben Schwartz. I kind of agree with you, Kenny. Like he could kind of do it.
He was good as Sonic.
He could kind of take over as the guy for all the games and stuff, honestly. But,
just like how when Chris Pratt voices Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie, he's going to be the new voice of Mario, because he's going to.
That would, if Charles Martinet truly got ousted to Chris Pratt,
here's the deal. Chris Pratt's going to play him in one shitty movie, and we're never going to hear Chris Pratt play Mario ever again.
Yeah.
That's literally going to be the end of it all right there.
Is he even going to do a voice? Like, I don't think Chris Pratt does voices.
Didn't you hear the one little clip of him? He's like, "It's a me, Mario." Haven't you seen the one?
People got so.
He immediately was like, I'm joking. That's not the voice. That's not the voice." But I was dead, dude. I was like, Chris Pratt, why did you do that then?
Oh shit! So I just wanted to share the Sonic news.
Okay.
Other random news. I'm just going off of shout out to AnimeNewsNetwork.com. Great source of daily anime news. I just took some that seemed interesting to me. Apparently, Akira Hiramoto's releasing a new manga next year. The creator of Prison School, Raw Hero.
Oh, it's a rom-com, right? It's supposed to be like a standard daytime rom-com, is what he said.
No, bro, he does not do that.
A traditional romantic comedy.
Yo, I was so dead when I read that headline, David. I said that shit's gonna be horny as fuck. Ain't no way.
School, I think, is technically a traditional romantic comedy.
I was like, have you read Raw Hero? That shit's wild. That dude's brain is gonzo. There's no way he's writing a traditional romantic comedy. Oh, I will be dead.
I'm excited.
If it's for real, if there's seriously like no ecchi, nothing, and it's just like a serious romantic, like Your Name, a style, romantic. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. I'll buy it.
Me and the Devil Blues had no ecchi in it, right? It was just straight.
Yeah, but that was before he was horny. That was his pre-horny days. He wrote Me and the Devil Blues before Prison School.
He
had another...
After he sent the principal of Prison School into the forest to fight a bear while he was naked, I just was like, okay, there's a disconnect between me and what the audience... Because I was still like concerned with the storylines. I was a big Hana Kiyoshi shipper. Like, I was like, this is what I read for. And then I was like, this is just about horny shit. This dude's been in this forest for weeks, and he's never getting out. He's fighting a bear.
Prison School is a masterclass. It's a masterclass in quality writing. Okay,
it's pretty great.
It was the best. It was just the whole thing was like he's just gone from this event at school. Like that was the whole thing, but it was like 20 chapters of this dude in the fucking forest.
The thing Akira Hiramoto has accomplished is that he has proved that he can write something that is just absolutely beyond absurd and still like beyond horny. Like he is absolutely better than everyone else at it. Like there's nothing more entertaining than reading Akira Hiramoto's work. I don't know if anything could be anywhere near as horny or anywhere near as like well written as what he's done. If he nails this rom-com though, I'm totally in. It was the wrong
Sign me the fuck up. Okay? It was the wrong.
I'm going to read it because his art's amazing.
He's an incredible artist. How the fuck did he get so good? Okay, yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Apparently, Beastar's final season was confirmed. It will be the final season.
Oh.
I think so far there's just the logo, which literally just shows the Beastars logo with the words "final season" under it. That was just
won't it have to be
released. That just came out yesterday, so that's.
Wouldn't have to be
off the press.
I think it's gonna have to be double sized to fit all the content in, right?
I don't know because I know that volume 12.
I think season 2 is only right at about the halfway point of the manga. So I think if they want to get to the end, they're gonna need about 26 more episodes.
It could be an attack. It could be they could pull an Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
like season
part
2. Yeah, final season part 1.
They might do that shit. Honestly, I feel like that makes sense because they should probably go ahead and get it done. I don't think delaying it and doing like one season next year and like another season the year. I think that would be stupid. So they should just go ahead and clobber it. But however they want to do it is fine.
Like after season 2, I feel like they kind of lost a lot of the.
Yeah, they could just do. They could just do like a slightly longer. Maybe they could just do like a 20 episode final season. You know what I mean? Like just do a slightly longer final season, but pace it up a little bit. I think that could probably get away with it. I've seen that done in like. I think Bakuman and Kuroko's Basketball both kind of did that with their final season, where they just kind of paced up the last season a little bit, caught it a little tighter, and they were able to finish up. But we'll see. You guys excited for Beastars?
What other news do you got? Oh yeah, I like season 2. Whenever Rui and
Kenny, do you read the manga or no?
No, I haven't. I used to.
So but we're past where you are or no?
Anime only.
Yeah. So I caught up back whenever I was reading it.
Oh, okay.
And we are now past where I had read to.
David, do you own the manga?
I have not collected Beastars yet.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
Keyword right there at the end of that sentence.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he might. He might.
I want to, but
yeah. I mean, I get it.
We need another Billy first, okay?
We need another Billy.
Yeah.
The manga doesn't really like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really a big fan of the art in the manga.
Me neither. I kind of like the 3D better.
Same.
I actually kind of like the sort of, I don't know, it's like I like sketchy storybook style, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think it works in some ways, but I think that maybe it's because I was predisposed to the anime first, but I actually kind of like the 3D aesthetic of it. But very rarely do I, but I do in Beastars.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Netflix with Beastars, so there is it's a film. Oh, that was a series. So Bubble.
Oh yeah, it's a movie.
It's a movie. I thought it was a series for some reason. So new original anime film by Wit Studio.
Bubble.
Netflix original. There's a lot of big name people that are working on the project.
Oh my god.
Like the director of Attack on Titan from Wit Studio. The character designs are done by Takeshi Obata, who has done Death Note, Platinum End. And so, and also the music producer from 86 and Attack on Titan, which I really like 86's music. So that'll be exciting. So, and the trailer's out, so check it out, viewers, if you haven't seen it yet. The trailer is pretty fucking good.
The one thing about that, when I was looking at that staff list, so the writer is who I was most interested in, because I looked him up, and because he was like the one that like nobody was like saying shit about in the list. So I was like, who is this writer? Mm-hmm. The writer is the original creator of Madoka Magica. But on top of originally creating Madoka Magica, he also is like the lead writer for Fate Zero, which I was like, okay. But then on top of that, he also wrote Psycho-Pass.
Yeah.
I did know that.
I just had
I've never seen Psycho-Pass, but Psycho-Pass is really fucking good, apparently.
I had never connected. Those 3 series are not 3 series that I had connected to one human being before. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize there was one guy that essentially wrote all 3 of those. And he was on, I think on Psycho-Pass, there was like 2 other guys that were like his co-writers or whatever. And I think Fate Zero is built out of another person's creation. So he wrote it out of, the Fate universe. So Madoka Magica is the only one that's like it's his, you know what I mean? But beside the point, the fact that there's like one guy that can be traced across all 3 of those series, I didn't connect the dots before. So when I looked that up, I was like, oh, that's like one guy. There's like one guy that like did all 3 of those. So I thought that was a little bit odd. And it's weird that he's now doing this movie. Well, David, is there a plot? I thought I read like a 1 or 2 line like synopsis on Bubble. Did you see that somewhere? I thought I saw it in the doobly-doo on the YouTube video. That's where I thought I saw it.
On the doobly-doo?
Yeah.
It's a...
Damn, you're moving fast. I see them clicks. David was like, let's go. I don't know, but it's just weird to me.
I think it's like a post-apocalyptic world or something.
Yeah, something about like people that can float.
Gravity doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, gravity's gone. Yeah.
So similar to...
Here we go.
The story is set in Tokyo after bubbles that broke the laws of gravity rained down upon the world. Cut off from the outside world, Tokyo has become a playground for a group of young people who have lost their families, acting as a battlefield for parkour team battles as they leap from building to building.
Yes.
Hibiki, a young ace known for his dangerous playstyle, makes a reckless move one day and plummets into the gravity-bending sea. His life is saved by a girl. The pair then hear a unique sound audible only to them. And then that's basically it.
That sounds so... I don't know why, but I'm so intrigued by all of that.
Zero gravity bubble parkour?
Yeah, exactly. I was like...
What?
I know that animation about to pop off.
Does he play for the Xanarkin Braves, though?
God damn it.
That was all I was like, wow, that really sounds like
Final
Fantasy X a little bit.
God damn it, Kitty.
The Albed Primer. Oh, no. What was their team called?
Captain.
I don't even remember.
But yeah. But it sounds really good. So, the Albed Sykes. Yeah.
God damn
the Sykes.
My personal favorite.
God damn it. Yeah, Bubble sounds cool. Definitely,
check it out.
Viewers, watch the trailer if you haven't yet. It looks pretty exciting.
And then there was one last thing that I had, but... and then just wanted to mention for those of you that are watching Demon Slayer, the Red Light District arc, the entertainment arc, or whatever it's officially called, started officially. I think the first episode came out the other day.
Yeah, it did.
New Demon Slayer content, boys.
Finally, new Demon Slayer content.
New Demon Slayer content. And I have, since getting the box set, I have read all of Demon Slayer.
Oh, you finished it?
Jerry.
I didn't know you read it all. I thought you'd only made it past the Entertainment District arc.
Honestly, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not really mid-Slayer. It's like a level above mid-Slayer.
Oh.
Like pretty good Slayer. So
wait till it's animated.
I don't hate Demon Slayer.
When it gets animated,
UFO Table has been doing something fucking else with that.
When Demon Slayer took off, people kind of like took it upon themselves to just like hate Demon Slayer, just to hate it. And the reality of it is that like it's not
bad.
It's not incredible. It's not some like masterpiece, but it's not like terrible. It's not like unwatchable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to put it.
If you read the manga, you get signs that she was being told to like finish this shit real soon.
Yeah. And that's I mean, knowing the state of the series and everything, I mean, it was a series that was struggling at the end of the day. Like it really was not holding on to its place in Jump by any means. And then the anime took off, and that's just how now the manga exists as a sort of testament to like this weird, it went from being essentially canceled to like top 10 best-selling manga of all time. And that is like truly the strangest thing. One of the strangest things that happened in 2020 is the 80 million copies of Demon Slayer that were sold or whatever the fuck happened. I don't know if you guys saw.
Is it the most this year too?
No, it lost. It lost to JJK. Just barely. It almost was, but it actually lost to JJK this year.
You gotta remember this manga's been over like 2 years.
Should we transition into that conversation, David? Because Oricon has put out their top 10. The manga sales year goes from November 30th to November 30th. So the new list just came out of the top 10 manga sales. And you gotta remember when you talk about the Oricon manga sales chart, it's talking about Japanese sales. Generally, this is not worldwide sales. One of the most tracked is Japanese manga sales. That's where a lot of these numbers come from. We don't know how much the U.S. generally contributes to manga sales charts. But Demon Slayer was dethroned this year after having arguably the best... I think it's the best-selling single year of manga ever. Like, no series will ever sell more than 80 million like Demon Slayer sold in 2020. But it was dethroned this year. I think it only sold, 29 million, David, if you pull the numbers up.
So Demon Slayer sold 29.5 million.
Yeah.
Jujutsu released 30.9 million.
Yeah, so Jujutsu just barely toppled it just a bit this year.
Look at my boy number 3, though.
Yep, and then number 3.
Tokyo Revengers,
the true comeback kid of this year, which is that, like, at the beginning of the year, nobody gave a fuck about Tokyo Revengers. The anime came out, it exploded in popularity, and now is the third best-selling manga of the year, selling more than... You have to understand that Tokyo Revengers this year sold more copies than One Piece did last year when it was in second place. You know what I mean? Like, Tokyo Revengers, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen are all riding this anomaly chart. Like, they're in their own league right now. And I'm not sure... Last year it was just Demon Slayer in its own league. Now Jujutsu Kaisen and Tokyo Revengers are riding the same league of, like, insane hype that is just propelling these series into astronomical numbers. Like, these numbers are unheard of. One Piece was barely knocking out... One Piece was dominating the sales charts every year by just selling about 8 to 10 million copies every year. It was dominating. It was number one by a pretty large margin for something like 7 or 8 years in a row. And then all of a sudden, Demon Slayer comes around and sells 80 fucking million. And now you have Tokyo Revengers and Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. One Piece didn't even make the top 5 this year, guys. It didn't even make the top 5.
Yeah.
I think it was...
Which is so... I'm so sad that Attack on Titan outsold One Piece.
Yeah. Its finale happened this year. That's the one thing.
Guess.
You gotta give... Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer both had their finales this year. So I respect them having massive sales bumps this year, finally. Titan was fighting to try to get above One Piece every year it was in circulation. So the fact that it finally got a year above it, I give it respect for its finale year. You know what I mean? And Demon Slayer as well. I mean, I don't think Demon Slayer will dominate in year 3. You know what I mean? I think that finally we're going to see a slowdown in 2022. Finally. Now the series is over. It's all the way out. It's done. People most likely own the whole manga at this point. I don't think there's millions and millions more people that need to go and buy Demon Slayer right now. You know what I mean?
Right. Wait, when did Spy X Family... Oh, it started... Oh, okay. So, I couldn't remember when Spy X Family started, but it started...
Kenny, have you seen these numbers yet?
Years ago. Wait, should I list them? I have them
go
right
ahead and list them. Yeah, sorry. My brain was just already talking about them like we talked. Go ahead and list them.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
So, All right, so top 10. Sorry from 10 going to 1. 10, Haikyuu, 4.3 mil. Kingdom, 4.6. Spy X Family, 4.9. Which to me, that's surprising.
Incredible.
Chainsaw Man, 5.2 mil. One Piece at 6th place, 7 mil. 5th place, My Hero, 7.02 mil. Attack on Titan, 7.3. Tokyo Revengers, 24.9.
Jesus Christ.
Demon Slayer, 29.5. JJK, 30.9.
Wow.
The jump
Jesus
from
Christ.
Attack on Titan to Tokyo Revengers is
insane.
Is wild.
It's
Yeah, those top 3 manga are just blowing them out of the water.
Which is so funny because Tokyo Revengers is dog shit right now in the manga.
Oh, the new chapters are so. I haven't even read the last.
I read it week to week, and I'm just like,
I'm like 10 chapters behind, and I'm just like, what the bonkers happened to this series?
We're waiting for the double time leap, guys.
Shut
Just,
up,
Kenny, you've been joking about it so much. I think he's literally about to.
No,
double time.
David, no! Don't say it.
I think he's gonna go back one more time.
He got his ass kicked, and he's like, I'm not getting anyone else involved. And it's like, and there's like a little thing that's like, what is he gonna do now? He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
Takamichi's
double time
eyes show determination.
You're telling me he's probably gonna. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you're not caught up on the Tokyo Revengers manga, you're telling me he's gonna save. He's gonna save Draken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly
not only is he going to save Draken, Jerry, he's going to go. I think what Kenny said before is right. I think he's going to further back to save Kaneshiro. Was that his name? Oh, no,
I think he's gonna go all the way back and save Mikey's brother.
Oh my god! Fucking
he's going to stop it all from happening.
He's going to go figure. What about Mikey's fucking sister?
That was after the fact.
Saving Mikey's brother, he'll save her sister.
I mean, you're right, but still,
everything.
The whole thing, yeah, it starts from the fact that Baji and the other guy.
He's gonna say Baji.
Baji.
Well, I mean, Baji's for sure coming back.
Oh, shut up, Kitty! No,
no, Jerry, you don't understand. If Takamichi goes back and saves Mikey's brother, no one will die.
Happens. Yeah,
Tokyo will be a place where hoodlums.
How old would Takamichi have been at that? Is he like a 5-year-old? How is he gonna save? How is 5-year-old Takamichi gonna fucking save the day? He's gonna goo goo gaga his way into that fucking motorcycle shop on the night of the.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, guys, don't hit him. Don't hit him with the wrench.
Yo, fuck me, dog.
And then Takamichi's gonna get hit instead.
If that shit happens,
but everyone else.
No, shut up.
That would be wild.
I won't purchase Tokyo Revengers English physicals if that happens. I won't do it.
I already pre-ordered.
I love it.
It looks so good.
I did too, David. I did too. But I'll cancel my pre-order. Yeah, that's the one I pre-ordered. I'll cancel my pre-order if I have to. Damn it. I can't handle if Ken Walkley.
Oh wait, that's something that we haven't talked about.
What
about Tokyo Revengers getting English manga prints by 7 Seas Entertainment, and they're going to be 2-in-1s.
Yep.
Which apparently the Dimensions came out. Those books are going to be big as fuck.
They're going to be big, yeah. They're going to be very large.
Large. They're going to be bigger than the Wotakoi.
Yeah, a little bigger than Wotakoi. Yeah.
Which
I think they're going to match the shit. I think there's another 7 Seas title that has the same size, but they're definitely bigger. They're not like Berserk. You know, they're not. Right. They're not going to be that big.
They're not the dark. Yeah, dark.
Yeah, they're not going to be like Colossal Edition size, but they are going to be larger print books, larger than the standard, like Viz Sig / Kodansha size. So a little bit larger than that. Kind of cool. I mean, I'm happy they're at a larger print because if they would have done them smaller, they'd look like bricks, and I just don't want little bricks. Damn it.
Yeah. I'm happy that they're doing that size.
But it's absurd. It's absurd that it took all year for them to announce English physicals when everybody in Japan was buying the shit off the shelves like wildfire. You know what I mean? Like I just said at the beginning, Tokyo Revengers, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer in 2021 sold more copies than I want to say 3 years of One Piece in first place. You know what I mean? Like the manga boom is not dead. Like it's still going. No. 2020 and 2021 are both living in this manga supremacy realm. You know what I mean? What did Jameson? What would he say to me the other day, Kenny?
Hey, I heard manga's the new anime.
Yeah.
He looked at Jameson, walked up to Jerry, looked right at him, and was like, "Hey, Jerry, I heard manga's the new anime."
Yeah.
What does that
honestly,
mean?
my man, it might be. My
God.
It's feeling like it right now, but it's just crazy. Those numbers just blow my mind. But really big shout out to Gege Akutami. I mean, absolute.
He's swimming. He's
absolute congratulations to him because
he deserves it.
30 mil in this year. I mean, just why again? It's not what Demon Slayer put up last year, but beside the point, it's a massive accomplishment as a new manga series, and I don't think many manga will come in and beat those types of sales in 1 year in the future. So, huge shout out to Jujutsu Kaisen. It's definitely one of my favorite anime series of recent years. I really like it a lot more than things like Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone. I really loved that first season, and I'm excited to keep reading eventually and or watch the next season when it comes out. But
yeah, and if you're caught up in the manga, boys,
I've only heard good things. I continue to only hear good things about the series as
every week.
I don't think there has been a bad chapter of JJK.
And the great part about JJK is that because its success came early enough, I don't think they're ever going to put the pressure on him to cancel it. Now, I'm always worried that they're going to put the pressure on him to keep it going. And that can also sometimes ruin a series. There's a lot of series that have quoted essentially being Shaman King is one that I remember dealt with some dragging issues where the author really felt burnt out. Dragon Ball Z, Toriyama has been multiple times quoted that they forced him to push out the Boo arc, which he didn't really want to write. So it can happen in Shonen Jump. So hopefully Jujutsu Kaisen gets the respect it deserves, and when Akutami is ready to complete his story, they let him complete it. That's my hope. Fingers crossed. Because the only other series recently that kind of got that luxury was Chainsaw Man. Fujimoto wrote what he wanted to write, and he dipped. And look at this list. How the fuck did that happen, guys? How did Chainsaw Man and Spy Family make it on this list? What's going on?
People love Spy Family. I didn't realize people love Spy Family as much.
Are Spy Family and Chainsaw Man going to look like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer next year when both of them get anime adaptations?
Well, and also Chainsaw Man Part 2.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We're supposed to get Chainsaw Man Part 2 in the manga next year and the anime, and we're supposed to get Spy Family as an anime next year. They just charted top 10 in a year where they are only manga. You know what I mean?
I would not be surprised to see them in the top 3 next year.
Oh, yeah. I think that they're going to dominate next year. I think that both those series, and not just that, we've got Wit Studio handling Spy Family, and we've got fucking Mappa handling Chainsaw Man, 2 of the best anime studios. These are going to be wonderful adaptations, most likely beautifully paced with wonderful music, wonderful animations. They're going to be top of the line anime, TV anime, and for 2 series that are already insanely popular. You know what I mean? These are not like Tokyo Avengers where no one was buying it and then boom, you know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to happen.
Or even Demon Slayer for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what's going to happen with the sales of these series because I think they're going to multiply in massive. I think Spy Family and Chainsaw Man have proven that they are going to do numbers next year. So be on the lookout. Yeah. Be on the lookout. All right, boys.
I'm excited.
Hey, it's time to talk about
other news, David?
Shonen Jump?
Oh, are you over it? Okay, you're done, David?
That's all I had.
Okay, so prior to this, we have done an episode where we went through all of the current state of Shonen Jump. We went through every series. We talked a little bit about it. Here's the big dealio. When we did that 6 months ago, was that 6 or 8 months ago? Whatever, earlier this year.
Half of those.
Oh, half those shows, they're all been canceled. Everything's been canceled. Yeah. None of those series are in the magazine anymore. We want to dedicate another 2-hour block to discuss every series in Shonen Jump again before the end of the year. So we can kind of get a catching up on the current state of Shonen Jump at the end of 2021. Because most likely everything running in the magazine right now is going to stay in it until 2022. I think we'll see a couple early 2022 cuts. I do think that'll happen. I'm going to put my finger on the pulse here and say that PPPP might be on the cutting block eventually.
What?
I think it could be.
I think it's been ranking pretty well, though, has it?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the rankings, so I just think that it could be on the block. I just wouldn't count that completely as a saved series. But I do remember prior to that, Undead Unluck has not been doing well. And it worries me.
How it looks, I think it's going to. It feels like it's in its last arc.
Right. I think Undead Unluck could be wrapping up, which is weird because I think that at the beginning of 2021, people kind of posited that Undead Unluck was going to be one of Shonen Jump's next big things, but it seems like slowly the popularity around it has teetered off, and we still don't have an anime adaptation for it. There is some hope. I think that the rumor has it that at Jump Festa we're going to announce an anime adaptation, and knowing Jump, they might kind of hold off until the anime hits, and then if that's received really well, the manga might get a big boost from it, in which case they might not cancel it off, or they might let it kind of go a little longer.
Right.
But that was one I remember kind of keeping my eyes and ears open for. But I don't know. Let's on this episode, let's talk about the 3 new series. We mentioned this during our news episode that in replacement of what got canceled, I don't even remember. Red Hood and Neru. Shonen Jump pulled in 3 new series, and we kind of talked about who was writing them, where they were coming from. So let's briefly go through these in the order that they came out, and let's talk a little bit about them, guys, because we've had some initial reactions. We've all read 2 of them. There's one that I didn't read. Whoops. Yeah. I might read it later. I don't care. You guys can talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
the one I was the least interested in.
You might. It's kind of not that good.
It's just like another. I don't know. Some comedies
comedies compete in their own world. You know what I mean? Like Me and Roboco continues to rank massively high in the magazine, and I still don't get it. I still don't understand. I don't know what's happening with Me and Roboco. I fully expect a Me and Roboco anime to be made at some point. Like, I fully expected it at this point.
I do think we have gotten our new best boy in this shonen protagonist in our first series, Ayashimon.
I knew you were going to say it. I like him too,
Maro he is excellent.
I like both. So I like both the lead characters in Ayashimon.
I like both. Yeah.
I think
so far, cool Ayashimon has 4 chapters out.
Yeah.
And I just got to tell you guys, this was going to be good. But, you know, the author just got done doing Jigoku Raku earlier in the year. Like, he's sort of proven that, you know, he's capable of doing this thing. And Ayashimon is both funny, which people like, and it's a battle shonen, and it's just so excellent in that sense.
Yeah. The big thing right now, it seems like to survive in Shonen Jump, you have to have already done something. Like, almost all these new authors keep getting, like, cut very quickly.
Unless you write Build King, then it's like, you know.
Okay, I will say, you're right. My boy Mitsutoshi Shimabakuro kind of took an L for that one, not gonna lie.
Build King was pretty rough.
He kind of took an L for that one, low-key. But it seems like, you know, look at some of the other authors that are right now writing some of the series. We've got Elusive Samurai, which is by the author of Assassination Classroom. We've got Witch Watch, which is by the author of Sket Dance, and also Astra Lost in Space. You've got, what are some of the other newer series that have been able to hold on? Ayashimon is our next kind of contender, coming right out of Jigoku Raku, which is Hell's Paradise, right into Ayashimon. But I like Ayashimon a lot. So the brief overview of Ayashimon, I'll give this one since I did read this one, guys. But essentially, it's about a young man. He kind of wants to. He actually pretty explicitly says he wants to be a shonen protagonist, which is kind of fucking funny. Stumbles into this world of spirit demons / the mafia, spirit mafia. I don't know what else to call it.
Right. And they're like things that you've seen before, you know. And
based off yokai, you know, sort of yokai monsters. But this time there's like a mafia aspect to it, is the word I would use, like sort of a organized underground yokai ring of individuals, which is kind of a cool like layering of 2 like used themes. And so then you've got your he's massively strong for no reason. That's the characteristic, which is everyone's favorite. It works in most series recently. The lead protagonist just needs to be absurdly strong. And he's so strong to the point that he just even if he doesn't really have much spirit mediumness, because he wants to be a what's the word for it? He wants to be. Wait, am I mixing this up now?
What? No, the girl wants to be the head of the Yakuza. So the story opens where the current head of all Yakuza.
What does the guy want to be, though? Does he say that he wants to?
He just wants to fight. He wants to have like a good battle.
I got it mixed up with Doron Dororon for a second then. Because the other one, the guy wants to be like a
He wants to be a hero of justice.
There's like a thing.
Devil hunter.
Samurai hunt. He like a samurai, right? Okay, I almost got it mixed up. Shit. this is what happens when there's so many tropey things in all of your new manga. Ayashimon does something that's a little bit more fun. There's a little bit more frenetic energy that goes with Ayashimon. I think the action and shonen battle aspect of it is what's going to keep it thriving, and I think people are going to dig the yokai element as well.
Plus, he shoots a Kamehameha wave.
He does,
which is just his fist.
He just punches them. He's like Kamehameha, and he.
It's something.
I think it's really cool that he does a lot of callbacks to like older shonen titles, which I guess is something that people in Japan love to see.
Yeah.
Well, what's the word? Derivatism? Anyway.
Like, yep, that's the one.
I'm googling the word. But yeah, I think I think in this most recent chapter too, they introduced like a new like side character, and he also seems like a really interesting character. So I'm really excited to see more of the primary characters get introduced.
Yeah, and I want to see more of the world. I think that he really wrote a really interesting world, and I love. Maruo does the Gon thing where the girl starts explaining stuff, and his head just starts smoking, and you're like,
yeah.
Wow.
And you're like, Maruo's like, oh, no, I punch him? And she's like, yeah, punch him. And he's like, got it.
It's always hard to know from the get-go, like, which sorts of shonen, like, battle stuff will work, you know? But it does seem like the author here, I think it's Yuji Kaku, right? Yeah. I think that they understand the elements that work better. And it comes from coming off of a more seinen, coming off from a serialized title. They just seem to understand how to use the elements quickly and get us up to speed faster. And so these first couple chapters just feel really paced well. They're getting us involved in the world a lot faster. Kenny once described Black Clover as like all gas, from the beginning.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a lot of why Yuki Tabata, I think, has been able to thrive in Weekly Shonen Jump is because he is just all gas. And Ayashimon is trying to almost replicate that frenetic energy that comes with something like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think that Yuki Kaku has figured it out because the characters are hella likable. The designs are super, I love his artwork. And I'm already kind of like, damn, this is a fun fucking zone to be in. And as long as it starts to get a little bit less derivative, I think is what Dave was trying to say earlier. As long as it tries to get a little bit less derivative.
The word derivative.
Yeah.
Derivative. Yeah.
I think that if it can be a little bit less, if it can pull back from the tropes, which it already starts to do, the onions of the tropes already pull back a little bit in chapter 1. I mean, right from the get, some of the tropes that go along with the male-female pairing, the characterization of the bad guys, the overpowered MC. Some of the tropes already get a little bit of peel back. Do a little bit more of that in your first volume, so about your first 10 chapters, and you might have your setup for the next 500 chapter shonen series. You know what I mean? Like, you never know which one's going to... But this is the type of series that I'm already like, oh shit. If you come back to me in 2 years and you're like, oh, it's celebrating its 100th chapter or whatever, I wouldn't even be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great title, great setup, great series. What else do you guys have to say about Ayashimon?
I think just in the first 4 chapters, they've already done like a lot of world building, which I guess kind of goes to the whole all gas.
Yeah.
Because we've already been we've seen a sneak peek of the other like primary like Yakuza gangs.
Yep.
That each control a different part of the city. I can't remember the name of the city that they're all in. Mm-hmm. So it's already like kind of like leaving crumbs to what's to come. So it's giving a lot of things that could potentially be like, holy shit, this is awesome, like to read. And so I definitely think it's going to get pretty far. Like exactly. I wouldn't be surprised to see this get 100, 200.
Right.
Yeah.
Kenny?
100 chapters.
I agree. I just think, Maruo is really likable. His plight, and I love that, like, the first chapter opens and we see a lot of the demons, but he is almost totally seeing this world. I mean, he is seeing this new world for the first time, and it's just like, and it's so funny how little he cares about like the bullshit of it. He's just like, stronger guys to fight.
He just wants to fight.
What is that?
And I think that really leads it to its pacing.
Goku?
I mean, he's very Gon-esque. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goku,
there's
Gon.
someone. I mean, yeah, it's a super shonen-y thing, but I feel like that there's like an exact like correlation to someone that I'm like, I'm losing it on though, but I'll think of it later. But you love to see it sometimes when a series just feels like a hit from the go. I almost bought the Shonen Jump that had the first chapter in it because I was like,
so that cover too.
I was like, this might be something I feel like 100 chapters from now, if I'm like, fuck, I love this series, I'm gonna want this. So I was like, but then I like didn't get it. But I feel like I'm gonna regret it because like watch 3 years from now the anime is gonna be a massive success. It's gonna be like the biggest thing since fucking sliced bread. Everyone's gonna be shitting their bricks of it. I'm like, god damn it, I held it in my hands. I'm like, this recording shows that I held it in my hands. Whatever. Second,
Protect Me Shugomaru came out at Kino last week, right?
Yeah.
That cover?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I doubt anyone bought that, and I haven't bought that.
I saw that one in person, the Shugomaru cover. And there was a lot last time I was at Kino, but it's been, I think it was the week before last, David. No, maybe it was. Maybe it was.
No, because Ayashimon was week before last.
It was.
There's like a delay in the U.S.
We have a slight. I think we have a slight delay because.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it was last week when I went.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean, but speaking of Protect Me,
speaking of,
so that's the
boys,
second Shonen series.
I haven't read it yet. I know the premise, but I haven't read it yet. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's.
Well, so just to give some, so the plot is that there is this girl. I think her family is like she's from a wealthy family, and there are these people within the family that are assigned bodyguards, and she just so happens to get assigned a person who just they're a brand new bodyguard, and she is his first assignment, and he's very clumsy, and it's a comedy, it's a gag series, so there's a lot of shenanigans that happen where he accidentally hurts her, or he gets her into even more like worse predicaments, and so that's like pretty much like the gag aspect of it. There's a lot of he fucks up a lot. I've only read the first. I think right now there's 3 chapters out, and I've only read the first 2, and I mean it's a lot of slapstick. So, and I feel like that's very easy to translate. So I thought there was a lot of times where I was like chuckling, like, "Oh, this is pretty funny." I don't know how long that will last because usually with slapstick it gets old really quick. Yeah. I feel so. I guess we'll see. It's kind of hard to tell, but I mean, I think it's definitely the weakest of the 3, which sucks for it.
Right.
I feel so.
But also, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not a good comedy manga, guy. Yeah, me and Roboco is. I feel like a similar. Plot,
it's the
right?
comedy.
Comedy plays in its own realm. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's shooting its own shots. Like, sometimes the shittiest comedy around will last forever, and we just don't. I mean, like, that one. What's that one you read, Kenny, about the family that all goes to high school together?
It's like family, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
No, not the. Wait, there's one that's called Mission Yozakura family, but not that one. I'm talking about the other one. Yeah.
Oh, High School Family Kokusei Kozaku.
Yes, that one. The series that same author wrote a series right before that, and he wrote it for like a long ass time, and I feel like nobody even like knew what it was, and it was just like running in the Shonen Jump magazine for like years, and
let me tell you, High School Family is funny though. Like you read that,
Kenny loves it.
It's pretty.
I only read it every so often.
Kitty's like, why the fuck is the dog at school?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Kitty, what'd you think about Shugomaru though?
I mean, it's just a gag manga. Like I said, I just they're not my wheelhouse. I don't really like them that much, right. And I don't really feel like I have a good judgment on if it's going to be good or bad, especially this early.
Yeah.
Because I hate me and Roboco, but it's still going. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever read some of the ones that got canceled? What was like a few of the gag mangas that got canceled?
I read Mori King.
Oh yeah, Mori King.
Beetle turned into like a buff human being.
I like Mori King, and I was sad that it got canceled. And I mean, Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin.
Oh yeah, Cop and Dolphin. You guys loved Cop and Dolphin. It didn't hit. It didn't seem to work well in Japan. It did seem to have more of a Western. The idea of like
had a Western style.
Yeah, the idea of like a cop pairing like just feels like a parody of like American cop shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like buddy
cops.
And
it
was super absurd. A lot of Japanese like comedy requires like somebody to like yell at the end. So like Protect Me Shugomaru, like the girl is like, "No, you're hurting me," or whatever. Like, how are you even good at your job? You're so dumb and clumsy.
There's always that sort of like I don't know.
Yeah, the
you remember Beauty from Bobobo? Like that's the character I always have exactly to think of. Like
he does.
Every like gag manga has to have like their Beauty or whatever who just like points out all of the humor. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Like this is weird.
Like Cup and Dolphin often would just like be absurd.
And that was the humor. That was
cracked me up. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck's that dolphin doing? Why'd he pull those guys over? Like, I don't know.
I think that's true. It's kind of teetering the line between like what is American humor and what is Japanese humor. And it sounds like Shugomaru might have, again, I haven't read it yet, might have some of that Japanese humor to it, which means it might do well. You know what I mean? Jump always gives a little bit more leeway to their comedy mangas in the rankings. You know, they can rank a little bit lower and still last because they like to have some comedy manga running. But I will say, High School Family and Me and Roboco are both running well right now. So they might not need a third comedy manga right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it could go either way with this one.
I mean, Me and Roboco consistently ranks within the top 5.
Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's just move on from Me and Roboco. I hate that series.
It's just a comedy manga.
I will say I read a little bit of the first chapter. It's kind of funny.
It's just ridiculous.
It's like funnier than I wanted it to be. Like I wanted to not laugh at any of it, but for some reason I did.
And I was like, damn it,
fuck.
Fucking robot maid.
I was like, why is she an ugly robot maid that rides a motorcycle? I was like,
that's that humor, bro.
The setup was just it was honestly funnier than I wanted it to be. But beside the point, I don't see myself reading a ton of it, but you know, I was maybe not as surprised once I read a little bit. Beside the point. Kenny.
The final manga, which now has 2 chapters out, Dororon.
I haven't read chapter 2 yet.
Is about a guy, our shonen protagonist.
Yeah, wait, how do we say the name of this one? Kenny, David, help me, because I don't know.
Doron Dororon.
I don't know, bro.
Doron.
I don't know. My best guess was Doron. No, Doron. Yeah,
Dororon.
I guess that's it. I don't know.
Our shonen protagonist, his mom had recently passed.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom's always his dream. He's a delinquent at his school, but his dream, because he protected people that were incapable of, and so he would often get into fights growing up. And so her dream was for him to become a samurai, which there are sort of these beasts that have appeared, and only samurai can slay them. And so in the first chapter, he goes to apply to be a samurai, but it turns out he's got no spirit energy or whatever you need to be a samurai. But he's really strong. As you see, he like pulls a really buff guy away, and you're like, he's really strong. And then he meets up with one of these Mononoke or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's what they're called.
Mononoke.
It's
the name of like the demons in this story.
He runs into one that is like a good guy, and it's like a shapeshifter. And so they pair up and are like, hey, you know, I've got no power, but I'm strong. And he's like, I'm a Mononoke, so I am spiritual energy, but I'm not very strong. And so they pair up, and they want to be heroes of justice, and they want to be like, good guys. So it's it's
pretty
like
much
super tropey. It's like it's like tropey, almost like too much.
Yeah,
like you're like, okay, like, but I mean, it was cute though. I really liked the him. I think he calls himself Leek Samurai because as a kid, he would walk around with a leek as a sword.
Yeah.
And I like the Mononoke is very cute as well, the little guy. And it could sell a lot of merchandise.
Toys. I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the fact that there's like a he went to do like an entrance exam to become like a samurai to kill Mononoke. And like the whole like driving point was like, I want to say that it was like, there's prejudice against these monsters. Everybody hates them. But wait, there's good ones. You know, it just like, it wants to be thematic. It wants to be something. And there is something there in the same way that like Ayashimon is clearly doing something too. They're both playing with tropes in a way, but Ayashimon tried its best to peel back the layers of the tropes. You know, it tried to do something to help us go, okay, well, I've seen this before, but wait, there's more. But Doron just didn't.
And it draws on tropes. It draws on tropes directly from 2 current running Shonen Jump manga.
Yeah.
Literally, he's no powered like Asta, like he's got no magic, or like Midoriya who didn't have a quirk. Like it's drawing on tropes
or
of
Mash
current
that has
running
magic.
That are like literally the currently
magic.
existing manga in the magazine. That's gonna make it really hard to succeed, dude. Also, just like the whole, I didn't love that like the main character's entire setup here. I didn't expect 2 flashbacks about his mom in the first chapter. Like that felt like excessive story. Like it felt like a lot of there's a storytelling thing, right? Where they say that you're supposed to not tell us something but show us, right?
Right.
And it just felt like some excessive telling by just constantly flashing back to his mom and trying to like really put, like, okay. And I know that's like technically showing because it's a manga. At the end of the day, like all manga is showing because you're seeing it. But it just felt very telly by just kind of constantly having him jump back to this like singular flashback of like his mom engaging. And I was like, we didn't need 2 flashbacks in the first chapter. Set the world up a little bit and then give us a flashback a little bit later into the first volume, maybe even second or third volume. You don't have to build the protagonist that,
or you could do like Oda does and wait 1,000 chapters to finally do Zoro's backstory.
Yeah, exactly. We got Zoro's backstory in fucking 1,035 or something. And that's like the second character you meet, dog. No, but you know what I mean? You can sprinkle it and you can lay hints and make us want that backstory more, and then give it to us later down to give us a more fleshed out version of that backstory. I think that backstory slows the pacing of chapter 1 down a little bit. I don't think that it's like way worse than Ayashimon. I think that they're both pretty good. I just found Ayashimon a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more, again, kinetic, and it was just doing a little bit more with what it had to do something. While Doron was just not really, it felt like fairy tale to me. Like friendship.
And the world had
more
overturn mysteries, right?
Yes.
I feel like Ayashimon had a lot of mysteries that I'm interested in. Dororon pretty much seems like it's just going to be about this dude slicing some Monokes up.
I would call it world building, Kenny. The Ayashimon just did a better job building a world.
In Ayashimon, none really in Doron.
Yeah, we just got this like people hate Monokes, and there's like a samurai force.
Like I thought chapter 2 was pretty good because there was.
I haven't read it yet, so.
The main thing that happens in chapter 2 is that there's just like a lot more relationship building between Kusanagi and Dora. And so like that's cute, that's like entertaining, but like again, there's still like I really want there to be some world building, or it's been 2 chapters and there's been no kind of name or explanation at all for the samurais like powers, like what the energy, like what sources their power.
Oh, they could just be like Tokyo Ghoul, David, and wait. I think that they didn't explain the Tokyo Ghouls like Ghoul powers until like chapter 50 or 60 when I was reading that shit. And I was constantly like, I was so frustrated by it because it made no sense.
I'm not an author at all. Like I don't have manga that sold millions of dollars, but I just think that's like bad story.
Shout out to Tokyo Ghoul's author for pulling that shit off, because I was the whole time I was reading, I was like, why are they doing this? How do they even get these? I was like, what? Finally, in chapter 50, he expo dumps the whole thing in the front end of a chapter. No cap. There's like this whole chapter where this kid is like.
So Ishida was like stressed out during Tokyo Ghoul.
I guess, bro. I guess.
I don't know. I know he was like. He was feeling some kind of way.
But so weird that Doron. I mean, hopefully we get some exposition about the power scaling or the powers of the world.
Yeah, I hope it's not a dump. I hope it's like slow and subtle, like Ayashimon has done successfully.
So maybe Doron will give it a little bit of that. I mean, 2 chapters is way too early to judge something, honestly.
Ooh, yeah.
It's like, that's not, a volume is about 10, we got to give it a little bit more oomph. But I am a little, I don't know, what do you guys think? Because, like, I think, like, art-wise, I think, like, Naru and Red Hood had better artwork than Doron Dororon, but that's just me. I mean, I preferred those art styles a little better. I think
I do think Ayashimon.
I like Doron's art style more than Nehru. Well, I really like Nehru's art style, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Red Hood's art style.
I think Red Hood has a baller style, but I really like his.
It's unique.
Red Hood had a little bit more of that kind of Western, like darker, thicker lines. And it kind of stood out to me in the Shonen Jump lineup because it had a little bit more Western influence on it. Doron Dororon feels very like Blue Exorcist. Like I don't know why, but like the whole time I was reading it, I was like, it just felt like I was reading Blue Exorcist, which I don't know. Maybe this guy has worked for, I don't know. This could easily have been one of Blue Exorcist's previous assistants, for all I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so this guy could have been an assistant on some manga that I haven't heard of or done something else because I think this is his first like headlining series, but. A lot of these mangaka, they work as assistants for all sorts of different mangaka before they land on their first series. So his style might still need some developing. I just hate it when like a new series just doesn't look distinct in the magazine. And I'm just scared that Doron Dororon will get lost in the shuffle because of that lack of distinction compared to, like, to me, Ayashimon's art style.
It's very
instantly, visually. And again, I mean, Hell's Paradise was the same way. So we knew that guy has like a style, and it's like, whoa. And Shugomaru, whether you hate it or love it, the comedy aspect, that guy's got a style too.
Very unique.
It's a stylized series. It's a different type. It's a more bubbly.
High School Family.
Yeah, he's High School Family. That guy has a style. Hate it or love it, his shit has whatever that is. It's a style. I'm just scared that Doron Dororon is just too. It just doesn't have it.
It's just generic. It does look generic.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Like it's a Blue Exorcist, or like another. I don't know why I'm using Blue Exorcist. I don't know why, but I'm like,
why are we shitting on Blue Exorcist?
I'm not trying to shit on Blue Exorcist, but like, at least Black Clover has some. I think Black Clover was struggling a bit, but it's developed a very distinct art style. I actually, in reading the Black Clover manga, I feel like the anime really didn't do it justice. I think the manga was a much more distinct style from the start, while the anime kind of simplified some of it, and made it kind of get lost in the shuffle of that.
Yeah, and elongated some of it. I remember whatever. I was so mad about.
Oh yeah, they like stretched out the whole like first 20-30 episodes.
Yeah, 2 chapters are 4 episodes, and you're like, that just doesn't feel good. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good.
It was a weird decision. But
whenever
I'm always scared that these new series will get lost in the shuffle, and I think Doron Dororon, like Nehru and like Red Hood and Candy Flurry to an extent, might just get lost in the shuffle of it all.
Candy Flurry.
Nine Dragons Ball Parade. What else did we lose this year? I'm like,
we lost so much. I was just looking at the Wikipedia page. We lost Build King, Phantom Seer.
Oh, I forgot about
Red Hood,
Phantom Seer,
Nehru,
the Vampire one.
Was Time Paradox Ghost Rider this year, or was that last year?
I don't remember. ITEL C was maybe this year.
Oh no, Time Paradox was this year. ITEL C,
ITEL C, Blood Oath.
Blood Oath.
Blood Oath.
Bone Collector. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, Bone Collector was out and in quick, dog. There's a lot of weird ones. Beside the point, I'm always scared when I see a new series. I'm like, is this just going to get lost in the shuffle? This one feels like it could, but who knows? Let's give it 7 chapters. That's kind of my gauge. Give it 7 or 8 chapters, which is usually volume 1 of the series. And I'll see how it develops and go from there. But Doron is the one that I'm probably, it and Shugomaru. I didn't even read Shugomaru, so I'm a bitch for that. But I'm just rooting for Ayashimon at this point. I fucking loved it.
I think chapter 7 of Ayashimon, everybody's like, this is the new best manga.
Yeah, I'm in it for Ayashimon right now, dog. I'm in it to win it.
Man keeps blasting them. Yeah, he's great.
I'm rooting for it a lot, so I hope that it does well. Did you find out if PPPPP is doing okay, David, in the rankings?
Yeah, so I pulled up the most recent.
Because I was just thinking about.
Oh wait, that's 2 weeks ago.
Because PPPPP is the other newest series in the magazine. It just barely.
It's the most recent one before
these 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 P's as I'm gonna call it.
That's probably a better name for it than PPPPP.
Yeah.
I call it P7. Yeah. Or no,
P7.
P6.
It's P7.
Is there 7 P's?
But there's 7.
Is there 8 P's? 9 P's? I'm sorry.
Well, there are 7 siblings, Kenny, but there's only 6 of them.
1 P is silent. I think that's the joke. I don't know.
I think that is the joke, yeah.
Alyssa actually loves PPPPP, by the way.
I do. I really enjoy it.
I love it. I read it every week.
So every person I know that's reading it is actually enjoying it. So
I think that it has a very distinct art style.
I've heard the style is something. So it kind of reminded me of like Shaman King almost, like a little bit of like later Shaman King, like with the big eyes and the like real pointy hair.
Mm-hmm. It actually reminds me somewhat of like Danganronpa.
David, are you gonna
like pull this Nagito in particular?
Yeah, I have it. Okay, you ready? Okay. So I have.
So what was the most recent?
I have number 51, number 52, and then number 1 of 2022 pulled out.
Oh shit! The first of 2022 already came out.
Well, yeah, that's
this week's
2 days ago.
So with all the second chapter of Doron Dororon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, what's the ranking? Scroll down to the like.
So for just P6.
Yeah.
P6 was 2 weeks ago. It was in 9th place. It dropped 1 from the previous week.
Okay.
And
the next week it dropped from 9 to 11.
Okay.
And then it dropped from 11 to 12.
Okay.
So it has consistently been dropping.
It's been slowly dropping.
Not bottom. Well, this most recent week is basically bottom.
Yeah. But it's been slowly dropping from about the middle to the bottom half of the rankings.
Yeah, but Ayakashi Triangle has consistently been bottom the past 3 weeks.
Yo, really? That's so interesting. So as soon as the other
last place, and then it was second to last.
So pretty much as soon as we knocked out those last 2 series, Ayakashi just dropped right to the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, Ayakashi is another one that's a returning artist. That's Ayakashi is by Tuloveru. Is that the author? I think it is.
Tuloveru,
yes. Yeah. Also, Mashal. Oh, no, Mashal's kind of been. Wait, Mashal's been low too the past few weeks.
It's been bouncing around too.
Undead Unluck has actually been pretty high the past few weeks.
Okay, it's having a comeback. Let's go. I know when I was kind of tracking it a couple weeks ago when I was watching as Red Hood and Neru kind of got canceled, Undead Unluck was kind of riding. It was kind of riding right above those 2 series. So it's interesting to see.
It was number 13 in issue number 51, and then it was number 10 in issue 52.
Okay.
And then for some reason it doesn't have a ranking for.
Oh, if it has a color page or if it's the front cover, it goes unranked that week. Yeah. So.
Oh, it had a color page. That makes
right.
sense.
So if it has a color page or its front cover, it goes unranked. But hell yeah, I just looked at this. Sakamoto Days was randomly number 1 the other day.
It had a really good chapter.
It must have had a baller ass chapter because.
Oh damn! It
randomly was number 1. And now people have been this is this week's like the latest one, the first one of 2022. It was ranked number 1, which is crazy. Because usually, brief overview, but we're gonna get really into the depth show and jump in a later episode. This probably this month. Brief overview though. Right now, One Piece, Dr. Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero Academia more or less dominate the top 4 spots. They kind of bounce around a little bit, and occasionally you see things like Me and Roboco or Sakamoto Days randomly kind of get up there. But for the most part, series like Black Clover, which you would expect would be doing really well, don't actually dominate that much. Black Clover kind of takes up space in the middle of the ranking a lot of times. And then you've kind of got the rest of the ranking, right? There's those series that kind of occasionally will pop up to the top, like Blue Box has had some really great weeks, even though it's brand new. As well as the Elusive Samurai.
I love Blue Box.
The Elusive Samurai and Blue Box and Sakamoto Days are 3 series to be on the lookout for, because I think all 3 of those have been performing well in their early phases right now, and I think Jump will definitely start positioning them as series to be on the lookout for. Both Sakamoto Days and the Elusive Samurai have already been announced for English physical releases next year, which is a really early announcement. And it also means that they're doing well in English markets, because that means Viz Media's app has proved that they should get some printings. Unlike series like Mission Yozakura Family, which did not seem to perform well, so it's never gotten an English physical release. So we'll get more into some of the details of Shonen Jump in a later episode, but be on the lookout for those 3 series. Everyone I know that reads Sakamoto Days loves Sakamoto Days. I don't know anyone that reads it and is like, that shit's whack. No, everybody I know that reads it loves it.
I even feel like it's almost Reborn-esque in the fact that it's a bit of a gag, but it's definitely a battle shonen. It's funny, but it is a battle shonen.
Yeah. So I'll be curious. I'm curious when Doron Dororon when these 3 new series enter the rankings, which for those that are unaware, it's not until chapter 8 of the series that the series will enter the ranking charts. So what's going to happen is each of these series are going to enter the rankings in week intervals. So chapter 8 will hit a ranking for the first one, Ayashimon, and then we'll get Shugomaru the week after, and then they'll both be in the ranking together. And then finally, when chapter 8 of Doron Dororon hits, we'll get all 3 of the series into the official ranking. And that's when we'll first kind of get a gauge on what all 3 of the series are sitting in the overall rankings. And if you're unaware of the manga rankings, they're an important measure that Shueisha uses to decide if a series is going to survive in Weekly Shonen Jump. They don't often look at American viewership. They look at people who buy the magazine in Japan and submit the rankings, which is a little archaic, I must admit, and is probably not truly informative of what the international audience is liking or reading, but it works for Shueisha, and they have not chosen to move away from that strategy yet. So there you go.
All right. So that's our update on Shonen Jump.
Guys,
that's it.
Guys, you know what I just realized we didn't talk about? Because we talked about it before we started filming? Totally Not Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to talk about that? We
are fully fuck you Toei, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Briefly, let's wrap up this episode with one last little note. Just so for those unaware, there's a YouTuber by the name of Totally Not Mark. He is a reviewer who mainly focuses on series like Dragon Ball and One Piece. He's been posting videos for quite a few years and had amassed a following of something like 600,000 plus, right? With some pretty massively well-performing videos. Over the last week, Toei has essentially targeted his channel and placed copyright claims, I think it's copyright claims, not strikes, on over 150 of his videos, making them invisible and unable to continue to build monetization for his channel, which is pretty unfortunate because he's now at the size he was at. He had multiple employees working on this channel, and it's Christmas time, and that means a large portion of their income for both him and his employees is suddenly been cut off because of Toei's decision to copyright strike these. So in return, Mark put out a pretty intense video, which I would encourage anyone listening to this, if you haven't already, which it would be weird if you like finding us but don't know Mark, but maybe you wouldn't. Go to Mark's video, watch it, consider going to his Patreon and supporting. And honestly, his one call to action was to boycott Toei. And I think that it sucks because I watch One Piece every week, but I'm willing to put a stop to that for the time being. If it helps in any small way, I'm not sure it will. I don't know, but I'm willing to put a stop to that until Toei mans up. And mans up's a shitty way to put that. Holy shit! Until Toei, wow, I'm gonna get canceled.
Corrects an issue.
Yeah, okay. Until Toei does what they need to do and fixes this problem, because it's fucked up, and they didn't. It feels odd for them to put a strike on these people that are creating transformative content. It's not like Mark was just posting the episodes willy-nilly. You know, he was posting transformative reviews that was just using the images and imagery and animation as backdrop over his very transformative media, which to me should apply to fair use, in my mind. It doesn't make any sense that it wouldn't apply to fair use in this situation, but Toei has supposedly focused and attacked multiple other content creators across YouTube, so it really sucks that they've gotten away with this and continue to do it. So don't go see the new Dragon Ball movie. Yeah, don't watch One Piece. Yeah, he said specifically don't watch the new Dragon Ball movie. Don't watch One Piece. Don't watch the new Digimon show. Whatever else Toei's putting out right
now. Dragon Quest 2?
Dragon Quest, Legend of Dai, that's Toei, yep. Just put it all on halt, guys. Just put it all on halt and let it chill for a minute until Toei decides to do something about this situation. But, boys, did you guys have comments on Mark's situation? I think I covered most of it.
Yeah, it sounds like you covered all of it.
Yeah. Kenny's like,
I have heard, though, it's like, I guess there's not very good fair use laws in Japan.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know, whenever it's across, like, because I assume that then the Japanese company asked for strikes in international markets, which is, just totally not
Mark.
It. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
LOL. And it's even weirder. He's not even. I don't think he's U.S. based. I think he's in the UK or Ireland or something like that. So it's even weirder because I mean it's all weird. But it's truly our condolences to Mark and his situation, and I wish him the best. As we are now, I mean we're tiny YouTube content creators. We want to throw our support behind him as well because I wish him the best in this situation. I mean I don't know if you guys saw, but Moist Critical Charlie, he already did a video about it, and Joey the anime
Joey
man
did too.
Yeah, Joey the anime man did one.
He was on Philip DeFranco today too.
He was on Philip DeFranco? Damn, even he got over to Phil. Dude, it wouldn't surprise me if PewDiePie does a video on it at this point.
And at that point, that's huge. Right?
Yeah, that's
Joey's
bad.
probably like,
Joey will have to really hope. I mean, I hope the anime man can get some traction. I mean, I think the anime man. I think the one anime that Joey was in was a Toei. Maybe it wasn't. Joey voiced in a Japanese anime once, and I can't remember who the company was though that did it, but. It'd be funny if it was Toei. So he's like calling up his peeps at Toei. What are you guys doing to Mark? No, I don't know. But yeah, just the last little bit of news that we almost forgot about earlier in the episode because we talked about it before we started filming today, and I think we just forgot to put it in here. But a little wrap up there. So yeah, this is I don't even know what to call this podcast. Is this our sneak peek episode?
This is pretty much peek slash.
What do you know when you like go to when you go to a restaurant and you like order a plate and it's got like 3 mozzarella sticks, like a little bit of chips and salsa. It's got like mushroom.
It's an app sampler.
Yeah, an app sampler. This is
our appetizer sampler.
This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast appetizer sampler. We promise we're going to bring the rest of the appetizers.
Except our tag today is going to be F*** Toei Animation.
Yes, F*
for the clicks.
I love it. We're going to ride that SEO, baby. But we talked about Arcane. We talked about Cowboy Bebop live action. We talked about JoJo's Part 6. Super Crooks. Fuck Toei. All the good shit. All the good stuff, guys. All the good stuff. But yeah, this is the Uncensored Anime Podcast. This is appetizer sampler. Promise to be bringing you guys some full-fledged apps in the near future as we start to get into some of these deeper shows and actually watch the shows like it's my job to do, I guess. So make sure you guys get on to me in the comments and tell me to watch the damn television shows instead of 30 Rock, which is what I continue to waste my time on. So actually it's hashtag down with 30 Rock. No. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys like what we're doing here on YouTube, it helps us to grow within the algorithm and grow out to other audience members as well. Additionally, if you guys are listening to us on just a listening platform, make sure that you follow or give us a 5-star rating because all of that also helps us to grow on those platforms as well. Gets us into potential new listeners' ears. And if you're enjoying it, someone else might enjoy it as well. But on that note, this has been another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast, and we're saying peace.